Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks. Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
We are live here at the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's drizzling. It's raining a little bit out here at the Wisconsin State Fair. Like Thunder's just standing over there like it's sun shining out, and he's getting rained upon, talking to people, and actually he's talking to Tommy Orch's mom. That's who he's talking to. Hanging out over here at the State Fair. It's not that bad. I mean, we're under a 10. I mean, we're protected, thankfully. But yeah, it's not too bad. Let me put it this way. It should not stop you, if you're listening, to coming to the Wisconsin State Fair. If you're like, I don't know if I want to go now. No, man, there's no thunder. There's no lightning. There's no wind. So it's not like you're getting slapped in the face by the rain. The Expo Center is where we're at, right here across from the Milk House. You could stay in there by yourself for 2 hours plus, easy. Wait for whatever this is to pass, and then move forward. I don't think it's supposed to last very long.
Yeah, it should be a good time. And the fact that it's raining might keep other people away, so you should take that opportunity to go to a less busy fair and have some time to yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely correct. So come hang out here at the Wisconsin State Fair. Then while you're here at the Wisconsin State Fair, I got you something else that's pretty cool to do, too. I'll give you another incentive. If you come watch us at the Wisconsin State Fair, you can see these Adirondack chairs that are sitting in front of us. We got this like little green turf area in front of us too. And check this out. Our friends from Buy the Yard are giving away a $2,000 in-store credit towards your purchase of 4 custom Adirondack chairs and 2 side tables. To register to win, simply stop by the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network booth right outside of the Wisconsin State Fair Expo Center and scan the QR code. Plus, we still have a few free fans to give away while supplies last. We don't have a bunch left, but we do have a few left. We've been giving away fans every single day while we've been out here. All the shows have had fans to give away, so it's been very cool. Tonight we'll have the leadoff show as well. Looking forward to that from 8 to 9. J.R. Radcliffe, who Kurt Hogue told us yesterday is in Nashville covering the Sounds for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. He actually is going to join us at 8:20 tonight. I tried to get him for this show, Charlie, like you suggested. Charlie was all over today. He's like, hey, did you get hold of JR? I'm like, J.R. Radcliffe, I did not. Let me reach out. However, he's doing interviews while we're on the air with a bunch of the players and coaches or whatever. So he's not available. So he's going to join us tonight at 8:20 during the leadoff show, 1 hour before the Brewers game from 8 to 9. So we get ready for Brewers-Dodgers, game 1 of that series. So looking forward to that. Donnie Chedrick from 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh, pre- and post-game host of their Steelers programming there from The Fan in Pittsburgh, will join us coming up in the next segment, preview Packers-Steelers. Tom Kesnick, the godfather of fantasy football, he joins us coming up at 2:40. It's about that time of year where people are starting to get ready to do their fantasy football drafts and starting to mock things out and see what's going on. So we'll talk with Tom Kesnick coming up at 2:40. And then lots of other fun stuff coming up. We'll get into more Packer and Steelers talk coming up at 4 o'clock. Some more Brewers conversation at 3. We've had a NFL quarterback topic that Charlie alluded to yesterday in the 4 o'clock hour. We're finally going to get to that one at 3:20. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a fun show. So yesterday we did the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show out here at the Wisconsin State Fair. Tim Allen and myself, whose band Conviction is playing currently over at the worst stage at the Wisconsin State Fair.
What do you mean the worst stage? What's wrong with the worst stage?
W-O-W.
I was like, why are you being so mean to the stage?
No, W-U-R-S-T. If you look at our account, Charlie, I tweeted out a video like an hour ago of Tim Allen's band playing at the worst stage here. Now, if you're like, okay, where's Tim Allen's band playing right now? I want to see Tim Allen's band.
I feel like you got to call it the worst bar stage. That makes it better. The worst stage sounds like you're saying it's the worst stage.
Yeah. So Tim Allen's band is playing right now. If you go over to the worst bar, right over there by the big yellow slide, everybody knows where that is at Wisconsin State Fair. The worst bar is right there by the big yellow slide. Tim Allen's band, Conviction, is playing right now as we speak. It's classic rock music, right? If you love classic rock, go check out Tim Allen's band right now. I think they're playing till 3 or 3:30, something like that. So make sure to go check that out as well. Okay. Lots of things to get to concerning that Brewers game last night. When we were out here last night, we were talking about how putrid this Brewers offense is, and we were looking back at runners in scoring position and how god-awful the Brewers have been with runners in scoring position. Dating back to that Twins series, things have been really bad. Then after I got off the air last night, my guy, Baseball Genius, we call him back in the day, used to be a producer here in Milwaukee for us and so forth. And he reached out and he sent me a couple of screenshots. And the one screenshot, he went on Baseball Reference and he did some splits. This Brewers offense in the last 7 days have been hitting, let's see here. Where are we here? It's fun with me trying to read. 225 with a 319 on base percentage and 372 slugging. That's in the last 7 days. In the last 14 days, last 14 days, they have hit 224 with a 322 on base percentage and a 354 slugging percentage. That's not good in the last 2 weeks.
No.
That's not good at all. So then I scroll across the screen that he sent me. Charlie, you might say, well, they're getting screwed. They just have bad luck. Batting average balls in play in the last 7 days, they're hitting 294 batting average balls in play. So they're doing good. 289 batting average balls in play for the Brewers. In the last 2 weeks, they're not having bad luck. They just suck. Like I think that's truly what it is right now. They're getting as lucky as they're supposed to get for the most part. If we start talking about where have they been positive, home runs. Last 7 days, 7 home runs. So that's positive. 12 home runs in the last 14 days. And again, they've been dead last in power all year long in the home run category. And that's where you're looking for them to take that next step, especially when you get to the postseason. But when we talk about this Brewers baseball team getting ready to go into LA, and then you see Pat Murphy talking about that they had a post-team meeting for about 15 minutes after that game last night. We talked about this on the post-game show yesterday too. Last August, the Brewers roll off 14 in a row. They lose a game against the Reds. Then they play the Cubs, and they lose a doubleheader and another game. Mm-hmm. So now they've lost like 4 of 5. They call a team meeting after that game. They come back. They win the next couple of games against the Cubs, and everything was fine. So right about the same time last year when they needed to have a team meeting, about August 20th, I think it was, here we sit now, what's today, August 13th? Mm-hmm. So a week earlier from last year when they had their team meeting, and we're having another one. And the most telling part about it is Jake Bauers, who I wish we had the sound on this. I really do. I couldn't find it. I
didn't see it all.
Jake Bauers dropping F-bombs to the beat writers, Kurt Hogue and Adam McKelvey, these guys. Pretty much telling them that, dude, we got to bleep and chill out. Like, quit. We are so uptight and wrapped up, and we're mentally just screwing ourselves right now. We're, potentially not having fun like we are normally having fun, and we're doing a bunch of dumb stuff. Listen, this team was built around pitching and defense. In the last couple of weeks, do we think the defense has been great?
No.
Lar has been, but outside
the rest
of that,
the team, no.
No.
David Hamilton's been so hard to watch.
So hard. So you have issues defensively that you normally never had under a Pat Murphy team. So that's a part of the problem. Then we can talk about the hitting aspect. And then the third piece that really makes us a big old ball of crap is the fact that you went to a 6-man rotation and now your bullpen is getting punished for it, as are your starters. Because your starters, like Harrison the other night, will get punished. And Pat Murphy sits there, arms folded, going, nope, can't go get you yet, son. Gotta wait. Sorry. You're going to have to wear it. Different from the Pat Murphy who was, we win tonight, we worry about tomorrow. We play to win tonight. That's been his motto the entire time he's been here. The last time we saw something like this, as far as playing and getting ready for the postseason before the season was over, was with the Trader. And we did it at the beginning of September. This year, we started after the All-Star break to get ready for the playoffs. And it's completely screwed up all momentum. I don't think you can go much longer with a 6-man rotation for this Brewers team. You are going to have to get yourself to a 5-man rotation. And I'm sorry about hurt feelings, Shane Drone and Robert Gasser. If it's one of you that's out of the loop, then it's one of you that's out of the loop, and the other guy's got to go to the bullpen, or you're going back to AAA to pitch every 5th day. They cannot survive this way, man. You cannot continue this. You are going to absolutely annihilate this bullpen. Yesterday afternoon, Uribe should have been pitching in the 8th damn inning.
So stupid.
If that was a playoff game, And knowing his pitch count a couple days earlier on Saturday and Sunday, he's pitching in that game. But because it's August and we're freaking out about arms and shoulders and elbows and not trying to ruin anybody, Uribe's not available because of his pitch count on Saturday and Sunday. And grant you, he had a high pitch count on Sunday. It was over 30 pitches. He was over 20 pitches on Saturday. So he was near 60 pitches.
It's
so
Wednesday. I don't care. That's so dumb.
But again, this is all about the playoffs and keeping them healthy. So now, Uribe, you're not available. So instead, what do we do yesterday? We send Senzatella to go out there and get his brains beat in. And I said it on the air when it was happening. I'm like, this is horrible. They're going to lose. And Tim's like, what do you mean? I said, he pitched for the Rockies. You're telling me this whole Padres lineup doesn't know him like the back of their hand? They know what he throws. They know how he likes to pitch them. They got him. It's over. There's no chance. He came in and it was over. And then you got knucklehead Gary Sanchez. I don't know what that was about. Aaron Morris, who plays baseball still, right, at a pretty high level, he's in our ear in the studio screaming, I tell you, at the TV. He said, what is he doing?
Because Gary's 6'2". That was an easy catch that you could make normally without jumping 10 feet behind the plate.
Right, and that was what Aaron was screaming about. Aaron wasn't screaming about Gary Sanchez jumping for the ball. Aaron was screaming about the fact that he was like 5 feet behind home plate on a play at the plate that saves the game and stops the game-winning run.
Because he probably still could have made the tag if he jumped and was on the plate. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, I don't even care about the jump. It's the fact that he was so far back. You gave him a free lane.
Correct. And that's the thing. Lara's throw was there. It was there. Well, maybe a little bit high, but it was there. If he's in front of the plate, he has an opportunity, and I don't know if he gets a tag down. He's a big dude. But at least he's there and has a chance. Or how about this? How about if you're kind of down in like the catcher position versus standing straight up? Maybe you're down in the catcher position, kind of waiting for the ball to come up, and then maybe you have to go up with your arm to catch it, but you're already kind of squatting to come down to do it. Even if he catches that ball, he's standing straight up. So to come straight down and then reach down and tag, I mean, that's going to be pretty much impossible. Like everything that around that play at the plate, he looked awful. And I've never played catcher at the major league level, so I'm not sitting here trying to tell you, like, I know what I'm doing.
Sure, it's not fun, especially when you're that big.
But that was horrible.
Well, and I think like this is something where I talk about David Hamilton getting all these reps over Joey Ortiz the past week or so. This also feels like one of those things where Gary Sanchez has been hitting so well and his bat has been playing so well that you want to get him into the lineup, but then you also have to test to see, is he the backup catcher? We just traded for another catcher. Is he going to be a guy that can be able to do this when William Contreras isn't going to be able to hit, is having these types of slumps? Do we have that backup catcher that can come in and also do half of what William does defensively? And what we saw yesterday is no, it doesn't feel like Gary Sanchez can go out there and do half of what William Contreras does defensively. And it really put them into a bad spot in that game yesterday, like we're talking about here. Like, that's really frustrating. Gary Sanchez, if you're going to test him out anywhere, needs to be tested out at DH more often. You need to start giving Christian Yelich more of that rest and start making sure that Gary Sanchez gets in the lineup. That way, if you're going to play him at catcher, it's just not going to work. And if it's not going to work at catcher, you also have to start thinking about the guys at AAA that you have to start testing out to see if you want to make that move sooner rather than later.
I don't think they're going to do anything. I don't. I mean, I hope they do.
They're not going to.
I don't think they're going to. And then Kurt Hoke's point yesterday when he was on, the Brewers beat writer from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, when he said, hey, man, if there's going to be a lockout like we all think there's going to be, there won't be a Rule 5 draft. So you don't have to worry about calling up Luke Adams. You don't have to worry about getting these guys on the 40-man roster. Like, that's not a thing. So he doesn't think that even comes into play as far as whether or not you bring somebody up. And that's kind of the frustrating part. All right, coming up next, we're change gears. Go to the Packers and Steelers coming up tonight. Game 1 of the preseason. Pre- and post-game host of their Steelers coverage on 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh is Donnie Chedrick. He'll join us straight ahead. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you. We are live at the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Steve Sparky Fifer with you. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for listening around the beautiful state of Wisconsin, whether it be in Green Bay and Appleton on WNFL, or if you're listening to us on the Game in Duluth Superior, or the Fan in Madison, or the Game in Wausau, of course, the Fan in Milwaukee and southeastern Wisconsin. Appreciate you. Packers-Steelers coming up tonight. That is a big one. Why? Well, we get to see Jordan Love, a little Aaron Rodgers. Should be fun. Donnie Kedrick joins us now from 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh. Does their pre- and post-game hosting there of the Steelers on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that is all. Donnie, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys having me.
So I'm just trying to get the feel of the land there in Pittsburgh. We've been playing some audio from Rodgers with his meeting with the beat writers, and we heard from McCarthy as well. What was the initial reaction? Because online it didn't look good from my perspective when they hired Mike McCarthy to be the next head coach.
Yeah, so it was that was a pretty polarizing move, I think, for a couple of reasons. I mean, one, a lot of people were just looking for that breath of fresh air after Mike Tomlin, you know, two decades basically on the sideline. It just felt like year after year it was going to be the same thing. The problem with the hire was that they didn't do what they normally do, and that is go find some young, relatively unknown coordinator and turn him into a head coach. And they went with something that didn't feel like it was really for the long term. It felt like, hey, this guy is from Pittsburgh, let's hire him. Not to mention, I don't know if you guys have ever stacked up the Mike Tomlin and Mike McCarthy resumes side by side, eerily similar. So I think the feeling came when the fact that people thought, okay, this is just the offensive version of Mike Tomlin. That's what we got here. We got a guy who will show us a little bit better offense, but the shortcoming will be in the defense, and it might just be, hey, we're on a different train, but we're going to the same destination, 10-7, knocked out in the first round of the playoffs at best.
I know Mike Tomlin was there a long time and had success. They just couldn't win enough in the postseason to make y'all happy at the end of the day. But I don't know the history with Mike Tomlin's teams as far as penalties go. We started laughing on the air yesterday when I heard McCarthy say he's trying to get his pre-snap penalties cleaned up, because that has been the major bugaboo with Mike McCarthy his whole career. Is they're always high in penalties, all of his teams, regardless of where he coaches. And I would expect probably the same thing in Pittsburgh again this year.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't feel like the Mike Tomlin, like one of the Mike Tomlin problems was that they were always penalized a ton. That was more of maybe a game-by-game basis, where one game we would see the Steelers get penalized, 10-plus times, but then the next game they have it toned down and they get penalized like twice. So I honestly, in the near 20 years, I don't remember that being like one of the big holdups and gripes with Mike Tomlin as the head man.
Well, buckle in for Mike McCarthy, because it's going to be a gripe, I promise you, going forward with Mike McCarthy. It's been consistent. If you go back and just look at his Cowboy years, I think he was like top 3 in most penalized teams almost every year. It's not going to be pretty from a penalty situation. From a quarterback situation, Aaron Rodgers was really, really good with Jordan Love after, he wasn't treated the greatest by Brett Favre. And I know there's been some talk about, Will Howard, that there's some hope that maybe he could be that next guy in Pittsburgh. How much hope do you have that next guy that's going to replace Rodgers is currently on that Steelers roster?
I can't say I have a ton. I mean, I'm not going to put it at 0. There's Will Howard and Drew Aller, who they drafted out of Penn State in the third round this year. So back-to-back years, they pick a quarterback. And the wild thing is Howard didn't even play a preseason snap last year due to injury. So there's 2 young quarterbacks on this roster that nobody in Pittsburgh has seen play an NFL snap. I mean, nobody has seen these guys in general play an NFL snap. But based on what we've heard when it comes to Rodgers being a good mentor to them, they can't speak more highly than what they've already done. He has gotten praise across the board when it comes to working with these guys. And really, that's one of the things that so many fans wanted to point to when it came to the idea of Rodgers coming back. you couldn't get very far down that list. It would go something along the lines of number one, probably gives the Steelers the best chance to be competitive. Number two, he can mentor the young quarterbacks we have. So, it kind of matches up with how he treated Jordan Love in Green Bay. I'll say it's a very good thing to have him around. Just hopefully it's able to brush off on one of these guys a little bit.
We're talking with our guy in Pittsburgh, Donnie Chedrick, 93.7 The Fan, just the pre- and post-game shows for the Steelers there. On the defensive side of the ball, obviously up here, nobody talks about the Steelers' defense. We're all focused on McCarthy, Rodgers, and what this offense potentially could be. Where does this defense sit coming into the season? Are there questions revolving around that side of the ball?
A little bit with aging stars, you could say, because Cam Hayward is 15 years in the league. But, if you watch what he does year after year, he continues to defy the odds. The guy ages backwards at the defensive tackle position. TJ Watt entering year number 10, which is crazy. He needs a big bounce back after his most disappointing season. Jalen Ramsey, who they brought over via trade last year, didn't have a great first season in black and gold. But Patrick Graham also gets to work with more pieces on this defense than he ever had in Vegas. He really had Max Crosby and then a bunch of no-names, to be honest. So I think the optimism with Patrick Graham is that, hey, he got to work with really one great player in Vegas, and then it was just a bunch of guys. In Pittsburgh, there are 5 to 6 former first-round picks on the field at the same time when it comes to their defense. And I think people are hoping he can throw a few creative wrinkles in there. Their top 3 edge rushers are probably 3 of their 4 best defensive players outside of Cam Hayward. People want to see all 3 of those guys on the field at the same time, too. So hopefully it's just some more creativity from Patrick Graham that we didn't see from the Mike Tomlin defenses, especially in the later years.
Donnie, here in Wisconsin, talking about the Packers, it's Jordan Love having to make a run here in the postseason to prove all of his critics wrong, even if that's not a Super Bowl. That's getting to the NFC Championship game and then potentially losing to the Rams if that's how this plays. I think that's the expectations. Anything short of that, Packer fans are going to be pretty mad regardless of what happens in the regular season. Where do expectations sit for an aging Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy and the Steelers?
People here are just so hungry for a single playoff win. I think that's the only fair place to put it. We have seen so many years of the Steelers being right around 500, just getting over 500. They're always in the hunt. They're always in the mix. We joke all the time. You see the graphic near the end of the year, and you'll see the playoff teams, the division leaders, the wild card teams, and then you'll see in the hunt in that third graphic. That seems to always be the Steelers' goal. Hey, at least be in that graphic. And then we are just at a point now where it's closing in on a decade since the Steelers last won a playoff game. Patrick Mahomes was not yet the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback the last time the Steelers won a playoff game because it came in Kansas City against Alex Smith and the Chiefs. So that's really the only spot the expectation is at. Like, we are long past the days of Super Bowl or bust in the Steel City. It's really, hey, can these guys just win a playoff game?
Give me a name or two that the Packer fans probably want to keep their eyes on tonight for the Steelers. Maybe a couple of young guys that Steeler fans are excited about that have performed well in training camp so far.
I'll go with a couple of the draft picks. The first one, I'll go with an offensive guy. That'll be Jeremy Bernard, who was their second-round pick. They picked him out of Alabama. He went to a few different schools, pretty much like every college kid now, went to a few different schools. But drafted out of Alabama, second round. Some extra expectations on him, I would say, because of what happened with the Steelers on the first night of the draft. They lose out on Mekhi Lemon. They're made to look foolish by the Eagles. And then Bernard's the guy that they target and go after in the second round. He's gotten pretty rave reviews from Aaron Rodgers on down. Really good attention to detail type guy. You may see him make plays both out of the backfield and at his usual spot at wide receiver. And then defensively, I'll give you two guys that are in the secondary that you'll see because they've taken advantage of Jalen Ramsey and Joey Porter Jr. being on the PUP list. And that is Dalen Everett, who was also a third-round pick, and Robert Spears Jennings, who was taken in the 7th round. So you have a corner and a safety there that have gotten, really good returns early in camp because they've gotten to run a lot with the 1s and 2s in practice, taking advantage of those injuries. I expect those guys to get a lot of playing time tonight and, hopefully a couple of impact plays.
Does Rodgers play tonight? I know McCarthy probably wants him to play, but Rodgers is not necessarily a fan of playing in preseason.
It's nuts, man. We're down to like 3.5 hours here until the game kicks off, and we don't know if Aaron Rodgers will play. Obviously, like you said, McCarthy wants him to. Rodgers immediately comes back in his press conference and just makes a mockery of the preseason. I don't think he should. I don't think he should play a snap in the preseason. And if he does, I want it to be 3 snaps out of the shotgun, handing the football off, and then the Steelers punt it away.
No, man. I want a half of 1s versus 1s, Packers, Steelers, Rodgers versus Love. Let's go. That's what
like
I
it's
want.
The old days.
Packers we're never going to see this again. So, might as well take advantage of it. If he's done at the end of this year, that would be kind of fun tonight for sure. Hey, man, thanks so much for coming on. Of course, you can follow Donnie on X at DonChed54, DonChed54, and look forward to seeing how this all plays out, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. This was great. Thank you.
You betcha. Take care. There he is, Donnie Chedrick, joining us from 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh. He does their pre- and post-game shows covering the Steelers. He joined us on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That is all. A great place to go watch said Green Bay-Pittsburgh game is the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Head on over there tonight. There's more than just this preseason game going on. I think there's 6 or 7 preseason games tonight, so they'll probably have a lot of that going up on the screen. You'll have baseball going on. You can watch the Packers. Then you can transition to Brewers and Dodgers tonight. We'll have the leadoff show at 8 o'clock. But over there at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, 2,000 square foot center screen, over 30 sporting events at one time, full menu at the Potawatomi Sportsbook kitchen. I'll tell you what, man. You got all day brunch, get some steak and eggs, make some pancakes at the Potawatomi Sportsbook kitchen. You got burgers, wraps, hot dogs, whatever salads, whatever you want, they got that. Over 40 beers on tap, a dozen different specialty cocktails, homemade desserts and pastries every single day at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. And you've got the shuttles to and from home brewer games to take advantage of too. All you got to do is make a $5 same-day wager at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Ask for your bracelet after you make the wager. And then you can be on the shuttle. Brewers return home. They're home all next week. So make sure to put that in the back of your brain or set a reminder on your phone to go park your car over there at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. You want to know what else about the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Charlie?
What's that?
They are out here at the Wisconsin State Fair today. I walked the Central Mall area to go over to that worst stage with that band called Conviction that Tim Allen plays in. And they have a tent set up out there today.
Nice.
And they've got their money machine going and operating in the Central Mall area to where you could put, Charlie in. They shut the door. They have all the money inside. They turn on the wind, and it starts blowing all over, and then you get so much time to see however much money you can snag out of there. So that's going on here, too.
All right. I might have to try that out. Is Austin Herdina working it?
No.
Oh, darn it.
No, I don't see Austin. I don't see Luis.
That's all right.
I don't see our main guys there at all. But either way, come on out here. Check it out. Scott State Fair. Check out the Potawatomi Sportsbook at Potawatomi.com. Coming up next, so we're going to talk with Tom Kesnick. It's been a minute. The godfather of fantasy football. You have questions? Fire them in. I'm already getting text messages on my own personal phone for Tom Kesnick. So if you have questions going into this draft, maybe you're in a keeper league or keeper draft coming up, or you know where you pick in the first round and you're trying to feel out who might be there and who you're thinking about, Nikolai Law Talk text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Tom Kesnick, the godfather of fantasy football, joins us coming up next. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, live here at the Wisconsin State Fair, inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you. Welcome in. We are live at the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. See Sparky Fiber with you. It is drizzling. It is raining a little bit, but I don't think it's raining hard enough to where, like, you know, it's going to necessarily ruin your day. Yeah, you'll be a little moist probably, but the Expo Center where we're sitting outside of right now by the Milk House, you could spend 2 hours alone just hanging out in the Expo building. And if you are going in the Expo building, may I personally remind you to go do that aqua massage. That aqua massage, man, I don't know what it is, $10-12. I just tell you,
love
man,
that thing.
it thing is amazing, I tell you. And the little kids too, man. Like, you got, like, you know, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds, man. They'll think it's the coolest thing too. No doubt. You've never done it, have you, Charlie?
No, I've never done it. We've talked like the past 2 years that you've been out at State Fair. I still haven't done it. I don't know. Like, I just don't like being enclosed in things, and I'm okay with not being inside that thing. Maybe next year we should do ponchos. I feel like it's rained 2 years in a row now at State Fair. Next year we should have.
Last year was horrendous.
Yes, last year was horrendous.
That was scary bad last year with the rain.
Yeah, I don't think a poncho would have helped much for that. But moving forward now, a Wisconsin Sports Radio Network poncho walking around State Fair, that'd be pretty cool.
Well, I mean, this year we're giving away fans, which are very cool that people are liking. The little kids are turning them into frisbees.
Projectiles. Awesome.
Projectiles, yes, right. And their parents love us for giving them to them, but that's okay. You know, we're here to please the kids, really, at the end of the day. Habish, and Rotier, they're here to please you as well, helping injured Wisconsinites. Again, since 1930, y'all. Since 1930, 13 locations across the state of Wisconsin. National reputation, hometown service. National reputation comes from winning a bunch of cases and helping create a bunch of cool safety laws here in Wisconsin, make everything better. So that aspect is awesome. The hometown service part of it is about making it approachable, right? Making sure that you understand they're dedicated to making sure that you get as much as you can. So if you're hurt in a car accident and you're trying to figure out what to do, and as we've talked about before, I've been there, you know, get sideswept by a flatbed truck, spun around an I-94, and then crushed into the side of the car by a semi going about 75. Happy to be here to talk about it. But that is scary, scary times. You have the medical bills, cars obviously totaled, going to doctor's appointments, all this other stuff, and your head's just spinning, trying to figure out how this is all going to work and how your life has dramatically changed in that moment. You have to go to people that you can trust and know are going to do right by you. Habish, and Rotier. Check them out now online, habish.com, national reputation and hometown service. So hoping to run down Tom Kesnick here. I shot him a text because he was supposed to be on here in this segment, and he said to call again, Charlie.
Okay.
So he should be ready to go here momentarily. The Milwaukee Bucks announced their schedule today, and I can go over that while we're getting a hold of him. The Bucks will tip off the 26th season on Wednesday, October 21st at the Washington Wizards, which back in the day was probably a good thing, but now Trae Young, Anthony Davis, the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft. So that's a tip-off at 6 o'clock in D.C. against the Wizards, which is fine. The Bucks schedule features 16 weekend games at Fiserv Forum, whether that be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I guess that is obviously good. The home opener this year against the Chicago Bulls 2 nights later on Friday, October 23rd. So more than likely 2 bad basketball teams playing against each other. Friday night, October 23rd, 7 o'clock tip for that one. The Bucks will host 7 Friday games, 4 Saturday games, and 5 Sunday games this season. And it does not appear, I'm looking to see if they have any nationally televised games, and I don't think that they do from what I can tell.
They have 2 nationally televised games.
2?
The first one is, can you guess, against a team that you would probably expect them? Yes, that is at the Heat. The second one, can you guess who the team is?
The Heat.
Yes, both of them are the Heat games. The first one away, the first game versus the Bucks for Giannis, and then the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis's return to Milwaukee.
What channel?
The first one, the one which is just the Bucks at Heat, is on ESPN. The second one, Giannis's return to Milwaukee, is going to be on Amazon Prime.
I don't know if you can flex those, but if you can, if he's hurt, they'll never make it to national TV. They'll get flexed right out. If the NBA flexes games like that, if Giannis is hurt, you'll never see it. If Giannis is healthy, then you'll see it. But otherwise,
you don't want to see Bam Adebayo versus Jaime Jaquez, Tyler Hero.
No, because then it becomes Tyler Hero versus them. Tyler Hero versus Bam, who went bam on Tyler Hero.
Oh, yeah. So there's still storylines, Sparky.
There's still a storyline there. Joining us now on Wisconsin Sports Daily on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law, one call, that's all. He is Tom Kesnick, of course, director of high-stakes fantasy gaming for Sports Hub Games Network, and I call him the godfather of fantasy because we've known each other so long. He's helped so many of you out over the years. Follow him on X at Tom Kesnick. Tom, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, Sparky. Good to talk to you. How you been?
I've been good, man. Are you home or are you in Vegas? Are you in New York? Where are you at nowadays?
I'm at home right now, not Vegas. I'll be in Vegas in a few weeks, but right now I'm at home. I'm hanging out at home right now, doing good.
Well, why don't you just get in the car, drive your little butt over here, and you can co-host with me tomorrow at the Wisconsin State Fair then?
Well, that sounds like a good idea, but I got to work right now. So, but it sounds good. That actually sounds like a pretty good idea. But for now, I got to hang out at home and do my thing for a while.
So for those of you that don't know, Tom lives in Wisconsin, used to cover the Packers back in the day as well. So a very knowledgeable guy on all the local teams to go along with, and not just Packers, but Brewers and Bucks and all that fun stuff. So one day, Tom Kesnick and I think, are going to host a show together. I'm looking forward to that whenever that happens. All right, let's talk about fantasy football. So I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine the other day, and he's in one of these keeper leagues, but you can only keep guys from a certain round down and so forth. And he's got like 3 picks in the first 2 rounds or something like that. But in his league, they have the flexibility to essentially where he can start 3 running backs or even 4 running backs with this flex position. And it could go, with 2 receivers / tight ends. Tight ends count as wide receivers. And me and him were having this conversation. I don't know, man. Like, if it's me, I know wide receivers are the new hip thing, but if I could get, 3 receivers, if I could get Gibbs and McCaffrey and another back to go with them in the second round, I think I'm going that way versus worrying about going and getting Jamar Chase or somebody.
Yeah, no, I think we've seen a shift back to running backs are gold in fantasy football in the last few years. I'd say 2 to 3 years. Those top running backs early in drafts are the way to go. If you can secure those running backs early in drafts, that's the way to go. You're just seeing it. That's a strong path to success right now. Obviously, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat, if you will, but I think the safest way to get success in fantasy football again is to have one of those top running backs early, a couple of those running backs early, even better. You can still do it with several wide receivers, but to me, getting those running backs early, that's the safest way to get success. It's why you see the top 2 picks right now in fantasy football, the running backs, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson. They're the number 1 and 2 running backs off the board in fantasy football right now.
So if it's Gibbs versus Jamar Chase, you're taking Gibbs then?
Absolutely. He's number 1 for me. Bijan Robinson's number 2. They're the top 2 guys in fantasy football for me. Jamar Chase would be 3, but for me, it's those running backs. I want their gold. And then even to get a little deeper into the first round, guys like James Cook, Ashton Jeanty, Jonathan Taylor, of course, we all know, Chase Brown, guys like that. Those are running backs I want to get my hands on if I can get, later in the first round. If I don't have a top pick, those running backs I like to get later in the first round as well.
Okay, so with the mess in Minnesota, Tom Kesnick, with Kyler Murray now named the starting quarterback, and he hasn't looked good at all in preseason so far, but he does have the quarterback whisperer, Kevin O'Connell, as his coach. Where does that move Justin Jefferson's stock to there in the first round? Is he top 5, top 10, top 7? Is he higher than that?
I love Justin Jefferson this year. Keep in mind, here's the thing. Keep in mind with Justin Jefferson, whenever he has had mediocre quarterback play in his NFL career, he has been a superstar NFL wide receiver. Mediocre NFL quarterback play, okay? J.J. McCarthy wasn't just bad last year. He was historically bad, right?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray doesn't have to be great. Kyler Murray doesn't have to be good. Kyler Murray simply has to be competent. for Justin Jefferson to be a superstar wide receiver once again. That's all he has to be. And folks, you can think what you want about Kyler Murray, and plenty of people do. Kyler Murray is a competent NFL quarterback, especially when he's being coached up. Go back and watch the film, especially when he also has good players to throw the football to, which he has had at various times in his career. Go back and watch the film of his career. Now he has Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and he's being coached up by a good NFL coach. This is going to be a very good Minnesota offense once again. Trust me.
I'm interested to see how this all goes, I guess, kind of going forward. I'm not as bullish on Kyler Murray maybe as you are. But again, I don't necessarily think he sucks. The other part of it is, can he stay healthy? That's a large part too. From the Packers side of things, with Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs and Watson and Tucker Kraft, we've got about a minute or so left. Where do some of those guys go in these drafts that are happening so far?
Well, a lot of people very excited about Christian Watson, very excited about Tucker Kraft. I am very, very excited. Tucker Kraft was on his way to a monster season last year before he got hurt. I love Tucker Kraft. I like Christian Watson quite a bit. I'm not super excited about Matt LaFleur being back. I think he should have been fired after what happened in Chicago against Chicago last season in the playoffs. But I think they're treading water as an organization, but that's another story here or there.
No, that's fine, Tom. I got one more for you real quick here, and I don't want to cut you off. I got like 30 seconds. Mark and Eagle wants to know about Mike Evans. Is he worth a fifth or a ninth round keeper?
Yes.
12-team standard scoring.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be fine. He's going to be their red zone guy. So, yes, Mike Evans is going to be a good addition to San Francisco. Has to obviously stay healthy.
Awesome. There he is, Tom Kessling. We got to get him on again before the start of the season so I have more time with him. I don't have enough time with Tom Kessling. Thank you so much, Tom Kessling. Follow him on X at Tom Kessling. Enjoy the rest of your day, Tom. He joined us on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Get back. We'll talk more about the Brewers. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks. Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
It is time again. We are live from the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer with you here on a Thursday. Man, where did the week go? I don't know if the week is going fast for you or not, Charlie, but I feel like it's Thursday already.
It is Thursday already. It's flown by. I don't know. Like, it hasn't been like the quickest week we've had this year. I've definitely had faster weeks, but this week definitely has flown by a little bit.
Yeah, no question. So Thursday here already, and then tomorrow out here at the Wisconsin State Fair. Tonight, the leadoff show. 1 hour before every Brewers game, we have the leadoff show. So I'll be on the air tonight from 8 till 9, not here at the Wisconsin State Fair. We'll be back in the studios. Then after the game is done, midnight to 1 a.m. or somewhere in that area to 1 a.m., Tim Allen and myself talking Brewers, Dodgers after the game tonight. I don't think I physically can handle another one of these games where the Brewers lead 2-1 and another game where you blow it after leading 2-1 for a majority of the game. That happened on Monday. Henderson gives up the home run to Jackson Merrill. Last night, they're up 2-1. They blow that game. Then they go to extra innings. They get the lead, and then they blow it again in the bottom of the 11th inning. Like, I can't handle much more of this, y'all. Like, they have got to figure out a way to win a comfortable game at some point here. And then you've got the team meeting last night after the game. That was like 15 minutes. Jake Bauers dropping F-bombs after the game, saying they got to chill the bleep out as well. Pat Murphy talking about all kinds of stuff. We'll play that back for you coming up on the leadoff show between 8 and 9 today. There does seem to be a sense of, I don't know if I would say panic, but concern is definitely the word I would use. Then somebody sent me a video of Molly and Hoff from this morning, and their producer is on the air. I think it was Dustin Rhodes on the air this morning talking about the Brewers. They should be scoreboard watching. They should be worried about us. We shouldn't be the ones worried about them.
It's 3 now, Sparky.
They should be worried about us. I don't know what David Hodmully said. I didn't that clip, their reaction to him is not what I got sent to me. I only got him saying that on the air. Now, listen, if I was a Cubs fan, I would be pretty excited right now because this is the first sign of weakness the Brewers have shown you in 5 months. The very first one. On the other hand, if I was a Cubs fan, I would also try to talk myself into are we playing with fool's gold here? Like, am I going to get myself excited and then they're going to go roll off 5 or 6 in a row? This offense is going to catch fire. And before you know it, we're 5 or 6 back and we didn't do anything wrong necessarily. When you're talking about teams that are as good as the Brewers are for as long as the Brewers have been good, I'm not even talking this year, like last year, the year before, and you're that team chasing, there has to be an element of when's the other shoe going to drop and bury us and we're going to lose the division again. There has to be I don't want to get my hopes up because then when I think we're going to go win this division, I'm going to get crushed and we're going to fall apart and we're going to lose it again. Doesn't there have to be, I mean, you're a Cubs fan, obviously. Isn't there that sense of, yeah, okay, yeah, we're 3 back, great. But I just have a feeling that we're going to get our hearts broken again here before this is all over and not win the division.
I don't think so. Not this year, at least, like, especially when you compare it to last season. I think when the Cubs were starting to try to get close a little bit, trying to make a little push last year, a lot of their best players were struggling at that point of the season. Kyle Tucker was not playing well in the second half of the year at all. Shota Imanaga had kind of fallen off in the second half of the year. What's different about this season is that earlier in the year when they were going on their run a little bit, Alex Bregman wasn't playing that good.
He's playing well now.
Pete Crow Armstrong wasn't playing that good. Seiya Suzuki had started off kind of hot and then tapered out a little bit.
Yep.
All 3 of those guys, some of their highest paid players, are playing really well right now, along with them just finding ways to win games and other players stepping up and having their big moments too. I think that's what gives Cubs fans a little bit of a different kind of confidence, is that everybody on this roster feels like they're playing as they should according to their contracts. Whereas like a Brewers fan, I think they get worried because the highest paid players are struggling and then they start freaking out about that type of stuff. which I would say just give them a little bit of time still. I still believe in this Brewers offense to be able to do that. The Cubs are just clicking right now, which is a bad sign moving forward, because when it comes playoff time, they may run out of that clicking.
Yes. See, that's why I'm smiling from ear to ear. If you're watching on video, brought to you by Girl Flaw, you'll see me smiling from ear to ear as Charlie is talking, because this feels very much like the Brewers last year, where everything's breaking right. They're getting big hits. They're getting good pitching. They win 14 in a row, and they are on fire, and everything is right. And then by the time you get to the end of the season, you kind of peter yourself out. Then you have to get yourself emotionally. That wouldn't have been the Cubs last year. They may not have won that series. I'm just saying. I mean, they got themselves jacked back up to go back and play the Cubs. If that was somebody else, I don't know if they beat the Cubs, or I don't know if they beat that team. They were spent by the time they got to the end of the year. And when we talk about where we are now, can the Cubs play at this level? Because it's been, a good month now that they've been playing at this level. Can they play at this level for 2.5 months and then keep it going for another month to go into the postseason, where all your offensive players, or most of them, are all playing at a high level, and you don't come back down to earth at any point, and you're at that peak, riding that peak? Listen, if we're going to be honest about this, if they can, they're going to win it.
Yeah.
They're going to win it. They have enough offense to beat the Dodgers. No question. They've struggled with pitching, but they got two guys to help them. Imanaga, still don't trust that dude. He got beat up again this last outing that he pitched. So I still don't trust Imanaga in any type of situation, especially a big game situation. But Gausman has the experience. You know what that looks like. Holmes, I don't know about the experience aspect of it, but he's pitched well all year. So you feel like he's going to be better. If they're playing at a high level offensively, they could make a run in the postseason. I don't think they can keep this up all the way through the playoffs. That is a long stretch of time to try and stay consistently hot at for that entire time. My guess is by the time we see the Cubs August 31st, they will have come back down to earth, maybe playing 500 ball for those few games leading up to it. The offense will have chilled out a little bit, and the Brewers offense might be starting to ascend at that point. And that series could determine the division or not the division, because that's 4 games. And where is that at? Wrigley, right? So, I mean, that's 4 games at Wrigley. You go take 3 out of 4, it's over. It's done. That's where I think this all comes down to, is who's going to be hot at the right time. And I just question, and this isn't just because I'm a Brewers fan, it's just using common sense. To think a Major League Baseball team can stay at their peak for that long is a big ask. And they're playing at their peak right now. I think this is probably as good as they can play. And they've been doing it for like a month, which is very, very impressive. No question.
Clay Holmes was a part of the Yankees World Series run team in 2024, so he does have a little bit of postseason experience.
Did he start in that?
No, he was a reliever that season,
Okay,
so he's in a little bit of a different role, but has that type of experience throughout the playoffs. I think like the only thing that would make me feel a little reserved as a Brewers fan is the fact that, yes, while the Cubs are clicking all at the right time, like this is what Alex Bregman has done in his career in the past, where he starts off kind of slow and then the second half of the year and then into the playoffs. This is part of the reason I think a lot of teams have looked at him as an option if you're getting close to that World Series run, because with the Astros, he just turns it on in the playoffs. Like he just figures it out. He figures it out in the second half of the season, and he's starting to do that now a little bit with the Cubs, which I think is something that could be a little worrisome. I think along with the pitching, Kevin Gausman is another guy that's kind of done that throughout his career, where he's gotten hot in the second half, gotten hot in the playoffs. So yeah, they're all clicking at the same time, but a lot of these veteran players are showing that this is something they've done in the past and have been able to continue that. I think with the Brewers, maybe you shouldn't be as worried about a run, about it getting down to 3 games, but at the same time, I do think you have to watch and pay attention a little bit. And like Jake Bauer says, just need to calm down and wake up a little bit.
I got some text messages on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Breaking news from the 608. Brewers offense flatlines in games against good teams. Reminds me of last year or the year before, or the year before that, or the year before that, or the year before that, or the year before that from the 608. And he or she wrote all of those or the year before. I did not add on any, I promise. Another one here from the 414. Is the Brewers offense really this bad? Can they snap out of this? And if so, how? Okay. I don't think, and maybe I'll be proven wrong tonight, Tim Allen has been clamoring for this players team meeting for the last 5-6 days. And he finally gets it last night after the game. The last time this happened, again, like we talked about, was last August. The Brewers came back, won the next 2 against the Cubs, and started getting on a little bit of a roll, which is fine. I don't know if this gets them on a roll. This is the freaking Dodgers, and you're in LA. Like, team meetings are fine. I get down with them. Does that team meeting get everybody to relax, go out there, and have fun and get back to being who they are, and all of a sudden they throw up 7 or 8 runs? We're going to find out. I don't think there's a magic answer to how to fix this Brewers offense. I really don't. Like, I don't think there's anything that Pat Murphy can do to fix this. I don't think there's anything that any individual player can do to fix this. What Jake Bauers said is true, which is this is all mental. We have to get out of our own damn heads and just go out there and play and stop thinking about, oh my God, we've lost 1. Oh my God, we've lost 2. Oh my God, we just got swept. Like, you've got to stop. You're the best team in baseball. I don't care about how much you're the best team in baseball. You've been the best team in baseball pretty much all year.
Technically, they're the second best team in baseball right now.
Oh, technically, why?
The Tampa Bay Rays gained a half game on the Brewers yesterday.
So what does that mean? They're a half game up on the Brewers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So you're the best team in the NL. Is that still true? Or did
yes, that is still true.
Okay, good. So they're the best team in the NL at this point, and a half game below the Rays for the best team in baseball. Either way, my point is they're really damn good and have been all year. To start second-guessing and doubting yourself is going to continue to roll you straight down the other side of that hill that you're rolling towards right now. You've got to find that confidence, that mojo, and that ability to have fun by going out there and playing the game that you all grew up loving, and that's why you're doing this. Well, at least most of them. I don't know if they all love the game, but at least most of them probably love the game of baseball, and that's why they're still paying it, that in the paycheck. I don't know how you get to that point. That's an individual thing. Every individual has to figure out how to get out of their own head. And sometimes, and I know I always get yelled at for the last 20 or 30 years, Sparky, there's no momentum in baseball game to game. Well, I disagree.
There's momentum.
I've disagreed forever about this. Sometimes it's literally just getting a big come from behind win, getting a walk-off win, feeling good about yourself, having a party in the locker room or the clubhouse, and then carrying that over to the next day, meaning like, all right, we're back. Let's go. Come on. Here we go. And the confidence builds. And now you win 2. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, here we go. And now Miz is on the mound Saturday. Well, we know we got a chance to win that one. It's Logan Henderson on Sunday against this guy, Tarek Skubal, who everybody's mad about that we didn't get. Watch this, right? And you win that game. Now all of a sudden you sweep the Dodgers, and now there's no more talk about the Cubs. There's no more talk about all the Brewers suck. All the offense is garbage. It literally can snowball just like that for you in the right direction instead of the wrong direction and get that wave of momentum kind of going forward. But again, I wish I knew the answer. I'm sure Pat Murphy wishes he knew the answer of how to turn a magic switch to get them fixed. I don't think it's a deal where they don't have enough talent. If you didn't have enough talent, you never would have been in the position to be the best team in baseball all year. If you didn't have enough talent, you wouldn't have had the wins you had last year and led the league in wins, and you wouldn't have had the wins you had this year. So clearly you have enough talent. It's just getting the talent to come out again, Charlie.
Exactly. And then that's something that, like we've brought up, is down to each of these players. Everybody handles that differently. Everybody has to find a way to come out of that shell differently. That's a really hard task for Pat Murphy that I think he's struggling with right now. Craig Counsell, the trader, struggled with that earlier in the year with the Chicago Cubs. And all of a sudden the players just decided that they're going to take it upon themselves to kind of break out of that a little bit. And Craig Counsell just took a back seat. Pat Murphy, I think, has at points already done that, kind of taken a backseat, tried to let the players kind of figure it out themselves, says what he says at his press conference, but it's up to the leaders of this team. I think this might be a situation where Pat Murphy maybe has to step in a little bit more and try to get these guys going. Again, keep trying different lineups. I like that he's been doing that over these past couple of days, just giving guys opportunities at different positions to try to get something going. Now, maybe that's not exactly working in favor of some of these players going to different positions, but I think for some guys it is going to help them get out of a funk a little bit or get somebody else going. And if one person can get going, maybe 2 people can get going. And if 3 people get going, then all of a sudden you got 6 people going and you're feeling good. I think that's what you need to start doing with this team. And as Pat Murphy, try to get a little bit stronger of a hold on that, because you haven't had that so far this season because you've tried to take that step back.
From Ziggy on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line, the Brewers have had a history of being streaky hitters and pitchers. I think this year's playoffs could be really good, unlike last year where they were hot now and then dead by the time they got to that point. They're struggling now, but is that streak coming in September and beyond? That's from Ziggy. We talked about this many times, but that's all that was for St. Louis. I mean, many times they weren't the best team, and they got hot at the last week of the season and carried it through the playoffs and go win a World Series. What they had the 1 year, like 83 or 85 wins, and won the whole thing. They weren't the best team in baseball throughout a majority of that year, but they got hot when it counts and got on that roll. That Aaron Rodgers Packers team that won the Super Bowl, they definitely weren't. They had to win out to get in. And then once they got in, they caught fire against Atlanta and Philly, and away they went, and they won the thing. They caught fire at the right time with everybody playing, their best brand of football. That's what the Brewers have yet to do. With the Trader as the manager, they never caught fire at the right time. The year where he rested the month of September, they got smacked around by the Braves in the divisional round, and they had no business losing that series to the Braves. None. But they couldn't figure out how to get their foot back on the accelerator to get going again because they'd been so comfortably up on the Cubs because the Cubs, first year with the Trader, didn't do jack crap. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this whole thing – actually, no, it was the Trader who was managing the Brewers at that time, so I take that back. But they were so far up on that division, and whoever was managing the Cubs – who was managing the Cubs? David Ross?
David Ross at that point, yeah.
Yeah, so they were so far out in front, they were just chilling the whole month of September with nothing to play for.
Because that was when the Cubs started doing the fire sale of everybody, too. Yep.
Correct. So now you've got this Brewers team that has started taking their foot off the gas in July to try to get to October. The first step in which they're concerned is when they pull that 6-man rotation and they stop that nonsense. When they go back to 5, then you're going to realize that we don't care if somebody blows out an elbow or a shoulder. We're done. We've got to get back to winning. We're done with this nonsense because it's killing our bullpen, and we're forcing our starters to go out there and pitch longer than they need to when they're getting smoked like Harrison was the other day. That, I think, will be the next sign that the Brewers are concerned that this thing is going to slip away on them. If they do that, that's probably something that will be a red flag to me.
That or Joey Ortiz playing every day at third base, which happens first.
The problem with that is David Hamilton stinks at shortstop. We know he stinks. We saw it again yesterday. So now the question is, does David Hamilton ever see shortstop again? And does David Hamilton now become back to third base and Joey Ortiz becomes the starting shortstop until Cooper Pratt comes back? And that doesn't sound like it's going to happen until the end of the month. So you got like 2 more weeks potentially without Cooper Pratt and the left side of that infield every day being Ortiz and Hamilton or maybe
Bryce
Vaughn
Trang.
or maybe Vaughn.
Or maybe Bryce Trang at shortstop.
Yeah, and then baby over there at second base.
Yeah.
I pass. No, I pass. I prefer not. If we had a better second base option, like if Madej was up here playing second, and then you had Turang at shortstop, that would be one
You think
thing.
Gary Sanchez can play second?
No. Speaking of Madej, I brought this up on the leadoff show the other night. I was looking at the box scores. You build the winner or whatever. Dude, Madej's got 15 errors this year, man. He had a throwing error on Tuesday. That gave him 15. Everybody's like, why isn't he moving? That's why he's not moving. But why is he at shortstop? Like,
then just put him at second base. Yeah.
Move him to where he's supposed to be going forward, wherever that's going to be. Hey, it's the return of the fan favorite everyone's been asking for. The pretzel bacon pub cheeseburger is back at Wendy's. Fresh, never frozen beef, creamy beer cheese, Munster cheese, applewood smoked bacon, and crispy onions, all on a pretzel bun. Add a side of delicious bacon pub fries to create a combo so good you'll feel like you're at an actual pub after one bite. Limited time only. Take a quick time out and come back. We're going to talk about a topic Charlie's had on the docket for the last 2 shows, and we've never got to it. And we're going to do that coming up next. And it's a great piece that went into the idea of why quarterbacks are struggling to develop in today's NFL. And yet you look at the Packers, and they consistently just put out good quarterbacks, right? One after another. What's the difference between what they're doing versus the rest of the league? We'll get into that straight ahead. Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you. You know something? I want some type of money from Tim Allen. That's what I want.
Why?
Man, I have sent so many people over to that worst stage here at the State Fair. That worst bar stage has never had so much love on the radio ever in the history of the worst bar, I don't think. I just keep sending people over there one after. Hey, go see Tim Allen. His band's playing. Hey, go see Tim Allen. His band's playing. So we're trying to help his band Conviction gather more of a following. He's already got a pretty good following. I've seen him a couple times now, and they're always got packed bars, locations, wherever he's playing. So
he's a rock
pretty
star.
Good deal. All right, Charlie. We got to get Charlie Sounds today in a little bit, but I want to get your take on this. This is your topic that you brought to the table. Sam Block wrote this piece about NFL quarterbacks like J.J. McCarthy. That's where this all kind of came from, I think, where McCarthy loses his job to Kyler Murray. And this is a guy, again, that should have been a starting quarterback, you would think, when you draft him for at least the first contract, first 4 or 5 years before he loses his job. And we've had so many of these guys that get drafted relatively early that just flame out and never pan out.
So Sam Block is a producer for ESPN. He's tweeting all the time. He just loves sharing like fun stats that he finds and stuff, any kind of topics.
Huge reaction on everything he tweets.
Exactly. So this was one of the tweets that he got huge reaction on. He goes and lists a bunch of young quarterbacks that have kind of lost that opportunity to be a starting quarterback so far. And like you said, it started with J.J. McCarthy, which he puts J.J. McCarthy benched. Justin Fields benched. Zach Wilson benched. All these guys he's saying is bench, so I won't keep saying that. Dillon Gabriel, Anthony Richardson, Kenny Pickett, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Will Levis. And he finishes that tweet with the NFL has a quarterback development problem. And I wanted to kind of tie that back with our Green Bay Packers, as you've seen throughout the past couple of decades that the Packers haven't had that quarterback development problem. Even more recently with backup quarterbacks, Malik Willis in opportunities like that have gotten other shots because of the development they've had with the Green Bay Packers. And I think I wanted to turn him asking why there's such a development problem into the NFL and ask Packers fans, ask our listeners here on the Nicolay Law Talking Text Line 446-771250. What do you think the Packers do differently than some of these other teams to get their quarterbacks to that level where they aren't failing or flaming out in the same type of way that some of these other young quarterbacks are? Other guys that have waited a little bit, other guys that have been thrown into these starting positions before. What's the difference between what the Packers do and what some of these other teams have been able or not been able to do?
I think there's obviously a big difference in the aspect of they've been very fortunate to have, Hall of Fame quarterbacks, very good quarterbacks that have been in the forefront, right? So you have Brett Favre. Behind Brett Favre, you have Mark Brunell, Matt Hasselbeck, Aaron Brooks, who went on. He was a third-string quarterback for the Packers, went on and started for the Saints. When Mike McCarthy was with the Saints, he was the one that McCarthy was in Green Bay, then went to New Orleans to be the offensive coordinator. He convinced the Saints to trade for Aaron Brooks. Brooks got there and had the best year of his career under Mike McCarthy, and then when McCarthy left, Brooks went away and wasn't as good of a quarterback. But Brooks was pretty good there for a year or two. Anyways, so you develop all those guys behind your Hall of Fame quarterback in Brett Favre. Then you get Aaron Rodgers. Now, the Packers have had their own flameouts as well, right? Brian Braum was absolutely horrible while he was quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. And I'll never forget that. He was the second-round pick. Rodgers was the guy type deal, or was expected to be the guy. They draft Braum, and Braum on TV is like, I'm going to go in there and compete for the starting job and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, what are we doing? Why are you taking a quarterback in the second round? Well, the reason was I don't think they believed in Aaron Rodgers at that point. They were concerned that he may not be the guy still, so they drafted a quarterback relatively high to bring some competition in. However, he's a better coach now than he ever was a quarterback. So that one flamed out. So the Packers haven't been perfect on drafting and developing quarterbacks, but that same draft, they took Matt Flynn in the 7th round. They developed Matt Flynn not to only be a really good quarterback, he got paid a lot of money in Seattle by the Seahawks. Didn't work out, but he got paid a lot of money after the Packers developed him and moved on from him. And now you look at this late coaching staff and deal. You draft Jordan Love, people lose their minds. People are like, oh, he was horrible his senior year. He threw so many interceptions. He's going to be a horrible NFL quarterback. What are they doing? You have Aaron Rodgers. You should be trying to win a Super Bowl. Well, Jordan Love, top 7 quarterback in the league last year. Jordan Love's pretty good. Jordan Love got a contract for over $50 million a year. I would say that first round pick was a success. Now, you listening may be like, it's not a success unless he's a Hall of Famer. It's not a success unless he wins a Super Bowl. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. You can think whatever you'd like. I'm telling you, if your draft pick signs a max type contract the way Jordan Love did, that's the organization telling you they're very happy with that draft pick and it worked out well for them, regardless of what the team does moving forward after that. Jordan Love has not had a season where at the end of the season you went, he cost us like 5 games from throwing interceptions and having 15 to 20 interceptions in a season. You definitely could say that about Brett Favre a lot of times during the course of a season, about him single-handedly losing football games for the Green Bay Packers. You cannot necessarily say that about Jordan Love at this point. So then they make a move to get a backup quarterback behind Jordan Love in Malik Willis. If you go back to Packers history, Mike Holmgren, one of the best quarterback developers there is. That's not even debatable at this point. Mike McCarthy, one of the better quarterback developers as well. That's not debatable at this point either. He took Dak Prescott to another level in Dallas. So there's no question about that. And he had Aaron Rodgers. They took Aaron from that garbage offense that he ran at California for Jeff Tedford, and with mechanics were all screwed up here. He had to break him down and start over and got him fixed to play at a Hall of Fame level. I said it before. If he ends up in San Francisco and not in Green Bay, and McCarthy leaves after 1 year and Mike Nolan is his coach and whatever happens, number one, he's no way is he in the NFL still. And number two, there's certainly no chance he's ever going to be in the Hall of Fame if he got put into that situation. Thankfully, he fell. He got embarrassed, but it got him a Hall of Fame career because of where he landed. And now Matt LaFleur seemingly is another quarterback whisperer that they got as the head coach in Green Bay. That's why you're able to develop quarterbacks. And that's why if I'm in Chicago and if Caleb Williams shows regression, not being the guy, I don't panic, because you have your own quarterback whisperer in Ben Johnson, who's shown he could take Jared Goff straight to another level. He leaves Jared Goff back down the hill. Now Caleb Williams. So we'll see what happens. If Caleb Williams goes and plays at a high level, that should be Ben Johnson credit for certain. If he regresses, I wouldn't hesitate at all to draft another quarterback. Give him to Ben Johnson and go. The difference in all these scenarios is simple. You have to have the right coach and the right play caller and the right staff to develop these guys. If you do not have the right people, the quarterbacks that you draft are screwed from the get because you don't have the right guys in place. And that goes back to organizational philosophy and the head of the food chain, whether that be an owner, a president of football ops, the general manager. It starts from the top and works its way down. And that's why when you have bad organizations like the Cleveland Browns, it starts with Jimmy Haslam at the top, not knowing what the hell he's doing, and then absolutely rolling downhill on the other side. That's the difference. Before Wolf and Holmgren got here, they didn't know what they were doing in Green Bay. It was not a well-run organization. They were horrible at what they were doing. And then you have people that knew what they were doing, and thankfully, because of Bob Harlan and Mark Murphy, they've hired good people consistently to keep the train going the same way.
Well, and I think the kind of going off what you're saying, I would change what Sam says from the NFL as a quarterback development problem to more so the NFL has a head coach development problem right now. I think you're seeing a lot of the old guard start to filter out a little bit. And a lot of those coaches were able to find consistent success with transforming quarterbacks, and that's why they were holding on to their jobs for so long, because John Harbaugh was able to develop Lamar Jackson and help him become that, or at least put the coaching staff around himself to develop a Lamar Jackson. Andy Reid was able to develop a Patrick Mahomes. Both those guys were not sure things when they were drafted, and now they're two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And I think that you can still see other teams able to have that kind of consistency if they have the right head coach in place or the right coaching staff in place. And I think that helps out a lot of these teams moving forward here as you start to see coaches become more veteran. And as they become more established in the league, you'll start seeing a lot of quarterbacks, I think, take their level up a little bit. I also think a lot of NFL fans right now, guys that are my age, watched a period of the NFL in the late 2000s and the mid 2010s growing up where you saw some of the greatest quarterback play of all time. You saw guys having multiple guys in one season having 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. And yes, you're not seeing that right now, but as the league goes into this transition period, as defense becomes a lot more fun to watch right now. You're going to see the offense kind of take a step back, and to say that the league has a whole quarterback development problem, I think is unfair. I think more so they're developing defensive players to be a lot more exciting, and that you're seeing just a transition period. It's just a different era of NFL football right now.
And the crazy part about everything is this league at one point was a quarterback wide open. I called it a run and shoot league, an arena football style league, where everything was geared towards throwing the football, scoring as many points as possible. And then Kyle Shanahan and McVay and those guys turned this league around to putting the run game back into this league, putting the tight ends back into this league after they were pretty much gone for naught. I mean, you never saw running backs get drafted in the first round for quite a few seasons. After that was the main thing to do for eons and eons in the NFL. It went away because that was a dying breed. And if it wasn't for, some of those coaches, it probably would have been dead, and we'd probably still be playing run and shoot dome style offense on every football field around the National Football League. But thankfully that stopped. And now you're seeing some of the pressure being taken off the quarterback. Having said that, you still haven't seen average Joe go win a Super Bowl, right? You had Trent Dilfer. That was a dominant defense and a great offense. You had Brad Johnson. That was a dominant defense and a good offense for the most part for the Buccaneers with Brad Johnson. So you saw that. Joe Flacco, he was pretty good, right, for the Ravens. But again, really, really good defense. Do we have any other examples?
I mean, Sam Darnold last year, I think some people could argue, and I know he played at a really high level, but he had a really high talent offense and one of the best defenses in football too.
I don't have it in front of me, but where did Sam Darnold rank last year in yards and touchdowns?
I think he was
top 3.
Yeah, he was he was an MVP level last season,
right?
But he's just never been that before in his career. So I think some people still discredit that.
But I mean, if you look at Brad Johnson and those guys in those,
they were not stars at all.
I don't think any of those guys were MVP level quarterbacks, and that's what I'm saying. That really is going to be the next test here, as far as running the football and not needing that superstar quarterback to win in this league. Once that happens, then I think the conversation really shifts to maybe the quarterback's not as important as it once was. But as of right now, and you need the Mahomes and these type of guys to win Super Bowls, it still is a very important position. Hey, the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is proudly outfitted by Burghardt Sporting Goods, our official apparel partner. Outfit your team or company with custom apparel today at BSG1881.com. BSG1881.com. Charlie Sounds of the Day coming up next. We are live from the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you. Welcome back. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you, Charlie Usen back in the studio doing his thing, and we got to get to Charlie's sounds of the day. But first, let's go to the Nicolay Law Talk and text line with Mike in Waukesha. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Sparky, thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to add on that quarterback deal that, yeah, the Packers they take a pretty quality, smart quarterback. They usually grab a pretty smart kid out of college.
Yep.
But the biggest key is all through the coachings. Now, it was McCarthy, or who was the first one? Holmgren at the West Coast offense. Everything stayed the same. People forget there were two quarterbacks, and I don't remember their names either. There was a left-handed kid, and then there was another kid. What was his name? Brooks, that came out of there that went to New Orleans. And
yeah, Aaron Brooks. I brought him up earlier. That was McCarthy was in Green Bay as a position coach. He got the offensive coordinator in New Orleans and then convinced the Saints to trade for Brooks from Green Bay. And then he was the offensive coordinator in New Orleans. Brooks had a kick butt first couple of years, and then McCarthy left that job in New Orleans, and then Aaron Brooks went downhill after that.
Yeah, and then so the biggest key is, I think, with the Packers is their systems always stay the same. It was a West Coast system. Then I can't remember the guy's name that was in there after that. Mike, I can't remember what his name was. Sherman. Yep. He changed it a little bit, but his system always remained the same. And then it went to McCarthy, whose system was, I don't even know what his system was, but it was kind of, so everything remained the same. But the only difference right now that I see is I'm positive that my memory serves me right. When LaFleur got this job, it was either the second year or his third year in. He said he would really love to run 80 offensive plays a game.
Yep.
And now there's been this drastic change where they turned it down to, we're going to run the ball 60% of the time or 55% of the time. So I think that's where the struggle comes in with Jordan Love. But I think it's going to work out. But I think it's the continuity. Everything stays the same. Or everywhere else in the league, coaches change. It goes in different directions. And I think that's why these kids don't get a fair shake. Thanks for taking my call, Sparky.
It's a good call, Mike. I think in general around the National Football League, you would want to run past 50% of the time. I think that's the goal. You'd want to keep it even. You don't want to be 55% pass, not even 55% run. I will say that I believe when they hired LaFleur, the way LaFleur sold them on how he was going to coach the next quarterback after Aaron Rodgers was they're going to rely more on the running game, more on the offensive line, a lot of play action, take the pressure off the quarterback so the quarterback doesn't have to throw it 40 times a game in order for you to win. He wasn't able to necessarily do that with the Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers that he got. He had to accommodate him. But now with Jordan Love, you're seeing more truly what he wanted this offense to be from the jump. Now, how does it take its next step with Jordan Love, letting him throw it more? We'll see. All right, time for Charlie's segment.
1, 2, 3. What sound clips will Chicago Charlie pick today for Sparky? Will Sparky become enraged? Will laughter ensue? It's time for Charlie's Sound of the Day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right, Charlie Usen, your turn. Top sound clips from around the wide world of sports or elsewhere that Charlie deems fitting for this show. Where are we going?
Let's keep the conversation going about the Packers offense and that run-pass split. Let's head on over to the Mina Kimes show, where she had our friend Carmen Vitale on the show with her, and they were discussing the Packers run game from last season.
They ran the ball based on this 15% more than expected. To put that in context, Baltimore, who we think of as like a running team, was 3%. So then I thought, well, yeah, maybe Malik Willis. Let me take out the Malik Willis games. Even higher.
Oh, no.
And they were fine running the ball. They were more efficient than explosive. But your quarterback had a 98 QBR on 3rd and long. He was second in QBR in non-play action. So it's not like you have to baby him. So I guess that's what I want to posit to you. Like, I think Matt LaFleur is great. But like maybe a little less. Like, what do you think?
No, I'm with you. It's a top 10 in stuff rate too. Like, so, there were times where
some games that were just like,
they were not like, it was not
the
working.
Eagles game. Oh, I mean, the weather was not working. Yes,
it was not working. And I'm just like, all right, can we move off of this? Like, I know I praise Ben Johnson for like his defiant sense of just like sticking with the run no matter what. A, you're really good at it. B, that's kind of like especially when your quarterback is still developing into your system. You need to give him that safety net. This is not the case, as you just mentioned, with Jordan Love, this passing attack. So bottom third in rushing EPA too. Like there was just times where you were like, okay, enough. I couldn't tell if it was like Josh Jacobs looked a little washed, or it was just the overutilization, or what it necessarily was in the backfield there. But
I think the line was a big part of it, because that was it was similar to the Lions, was kind of slept on how many different rotation, like the injuries that they had. And
this is the thing, guys. Couple of things. One, the offensive line sucked. Yeah, that's a big part of it for the Packers. The other part of it was Josh Jacobs playing hurt, playing banged up, whatever. Definitely looked like he lost at least a half a step. Didn't look as explosive as that we've seen. We've seen Emmanuel Wilson look more explosive. Now he's in Seattle, but he's looked more explosive than Jacobs the last couple of years too. So I think that's also part of it. I would like to know how much of a conversation there was around Jordan Love throwing the ball more than he did last year, opening up this offense more. How much of a conversation was there between Ed Policy and Matt LaFleur before he gave him the contract extension? How much of that conversation happened? Listen, Ed Policy's not an idiot. His dad's Carmen Policy. Like, he's grown up around football. He grew up around football stadiums. He's watched football his whole life. He's not a moron. So I just wonder if it's like, look, man, we're good. I think you're really good. I think you've done a great job with Malik Willis. I think you've done a great job with Jordan Love. But me personally, are we going to throw it more this year? Like, do you plan on throwing it more this year? Do you really trust Jordan Love? Is this really your guy? Do we pay a guy that you really don't trust? Like, what do we think, Matt? Where are we at? Like, does that conversation happen before he signs the extension and puts Ed Policy's mind at ease before they move forward? And if Matt goes, no, in fact, I'm kind of thinking I want to run it more than I did last year, whether or not, does he still get the contract extension if he tells Ed Policy that? You would think you would have some type of football conversation with Matt LaFleur before you give him the extension. That would be my guess.
Well, not just him, but Christian Watson and Jaden Reed and eventually Tucker Kraft here. Like, all those guys giving those extensions out have to do with the plan for Jordan Love. So you have to plan ahead for that. Next up, let's hear from Jordan Love as he discusses the biggest difference he expects for the offense this year.
Man, the biggest difference, I think, is our ability to finish. I think, that's kind of where we had a letdown last season. Was being able to finish late in games. Late in the season, all those things. So I think this year, that's the mindset. That's the goal for us, is to be able to go out there and finish no matter what the situation is. Just have that killer mindset.
Is there a key when you have losses like you did, and I know we're referring to, but like, is there a scheme thing for that? Is that a mindset thing? Is that, still being aggressive, later in games? Like, what, when you say we want to finish better, what does that tangibly mean?
It's everything. I think player-wise, it's all about focus, especially when you have a lead in the game, not losing focus and continuing to focus on all the little details, so everyone can go out there and execute every play. I think it's scheme-wise, looking at some of the stuff we did in the end of games last season and clean up some of that or find ways to be better. But like I said, it's just that mindset, having that killer mindset that we got to put teams away, and especially if you're up in the game or if you're down in the game, find ways to climb back in that game. It's never over until it's over.
So he takes a shot at his teammates, takes a shot at LaFleur, and the coaching staff, all within that one comment. So let's start off quickly talking about this. Number one, the lack of focus. So what are we saying? Are we saying they're tired? That you're losing focus because you're just drained? You don't got much left in the tank at that point to push through and finish the game? Because that's conditioning. That's stuff that really, really good teams don't go through, if we're being honest.
And now you made practices shorter too, Matt LaFleur.
You're playing closed music for this hour. Is that what you're doing?
Yes, that is what I'm doing.
All right, we'll save this. We'll talk more about this after the top of the hour. We got to do our green and gold update anyhow. We'll get more into this at 4 o'clock with our green and gold update. We'll also kind of look ahead. Packers-Steelers tonight, first game of the preseason in Pittsburgh. I've not seen if they've announced Rodgers is playing yet or not. So we'll keep an eye on that too. We'll have Charlie look at that. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin State Fair, inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you.
Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks. Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin State Fair, out here inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And if you've been listening, you were well aware. If you come on out here, our friends by the Yard are giving away a $2,000 in-store credit towards your purchase of 4 custom Adirondack chairs and 2 side tables, I should say. To register to win, simply stop by the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studio right outside of the Wisconsin State Fair Expo Center. Scan the QR code. You are ready to roll. We still got some fans to give away as well. Ashley joins us now by the Yard. All right, Ashley. So first of all, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You guys got a big state fair sale going on as well, right? What do you got going on?
We do, yeah. This is one of our favorite times of the year because our state fair sale is officially underway. Right now, customers can save throughout the showroom, at the booth, over the phone, throughout the 17th. It's a great opportunity to invest in outdoor furniture that's built to last for decades, not just a few seasons. And right now you can get 10% off, which is a great deal.
I've talked about this on the air while we've been out here, but I'd like to get into it more with you. So I know for sure that living in Wisconsin, you're dealing with snow, the cold weather, the extreme cold weather. And if you go around and you drive around neighborhoods around Wisconsin, around late October or so, you see people starting to pull their stuff off, put it into the garage, put it into their shed, and now their decks or patios are empty. Very few people leave their stuff out year-round because it ends up being crap within a couple of years if you do that. With you all, and you come out here sitting in the Adirondack chairs in front of our booth, you can see it. That doesn't have to be the case with these.
Yeah, no, you can leave them out year-round. You don't have to drag them in. You don't even have to cover most of our items. There's a 35-year warranty on the material, so you're good to just let the snow pile up on them, give them a good clean in the spring, and you're good to go.
I mean, think about that for a second. 35 years. So, like, if you bought chairs for your patio or whatever, some people buy the wicker chairs that are cheap and crap. You're replacing those every few years for certain and spending more money. Or deck sets or whatever the case may be. They don't last 35 years. I mean, I don't think there's anything even comparable to the quality that you're doing. And you guys, if memory serves correct, let's see if I'm on this, are based out of Minnesota, right? Isn't that kind of where it is?
Yep.
So it's a Midwest company. This isn't, most of the stuff we buy, if we're being honest, is from a warm weather state. That's where they built it. It's made for warm weather states, but there's not a lot of variety for people that live in the Midwest. So you're stuck buying their stuff that wasn't made for the snow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're Midwest made. We're durable. We're resilient. You know, we have 13 different colors, lots of design options. So you have a lot of choices, a lot of customization that you can do.
Okay, so by the Yard, we know about the Adirondack chairs. We know about the side tables. Give me some of the other things that people are looking to redo their backyards or add some new stuff that they can find if they go to your website or go check out the store.
Yeah, we have deep seat furniture, like cushion stuff, couches, benches. We have storage boxes for those cushions, fire tables, dining tables with fire tables in them, so you can enjoy and extend your outdoor season into the fall and
so you can
start early in the spring.
You do like a fondue table on your patio?
Absolutely,
is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
All right, that's all right. I'm down with that. That's good too.
Yeah.
What is the biggest compliment that you get when you talk with people that buy your furniture? Because I would assume you probably get emails and calls, or people come back in the store. They're like, I heard this was really good, but I didn't realize whatever.
Yeah, people do like that have bought our furniture do a lot of the work for us. They say they bought it 10, 15 years ago and it still looks as good as the day they bought it.
No fading.
No fading.
No chipping. None of that stuff.
Nope, won't rock. Won't crack or rot. You don't have to stain it every year either, which is really nice. So yeah.
What is the material that it's made of versus like all these other chairs and what they're made of?
Yeah, so it's not like wicker or anything like that. It's high density polyethylene. It's number 2 plastic basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Sounds
milk
good.
jugs, shampoo bottles, things like that.
That's crazy. Washing your hair and they made the chair out of it on your deck.
Yeah, it only took like 400 or 500
It's
shampoo
all right.
bottles to make that
Whatever.
chair. But
I mean, how many shampoo bottles do you go through in 35 years? Do
Yeah.
you have a family of 4 or a family of 5, right?
maybe that in milk, but not shampoo.
Yes, correct. All right, so let's take it to the next level here. when we start talking about the different colors and everything else that you have, we have kids that have crayons, kids that have whatever the case may be. How easy are they to wash and get some of that stuff off?
Super easy. It's a non-porous material, so you spill wine on it, you get crayon on it, sticky hands from kids.
Yes.
You get all kinds of things we're experiencing in the booth.
Right.
Soap and water comes right off.
Family friendly. That's a big thing when you have I have a 4-year-old and a 10-year-old, and it's a disaster every 5 minutes in our house with something getting spilled or knocked over or whatever. And especially outside, same type of deal. They see a marker. Oh, I want to draw. Yeah, draw on the actual coloring book, not on the table that's outside.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing too. Again, talking with Ashley by the yard. So where is your booth set up at?
Yeah, we are right in the middle of the Expo Center by the Expo Oasis. Can't miss us.
Sure. So what do you have in there? You have samples. We have the 2 Adirondack chairs here for the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. More of that inside?
Yeah, we have an item in every color, 13 different colors. We have color samples. We have cushion samples, catalogs, cards, whatever you need.
So you can come sample it out. Sit in them, feel them, touch them, all of that stuff. Ask all the questions that you have. As far as delivery goes, how does the delivery work?
Yeah, so delivery right now, our lead time is about 3 to 4 weeks, so you're not
Okay.
waiting long, and it's based on zip code. We make everything in Minnesota, and then we truck it down to our Oconomowoc location where we deliver out in-house. We don't use, third-party companies.
Sure.
So however far you are from us, it's, anywhere from $39 to $199 for
Comes assembled?
fully assembled. You don't have to put anything together. No cardboard boxes.
That's good. I work in radio, so I don't have to assemble stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't get into the trade. So the fact that it comes fully assembled is a win for me because, my wife, she does everything. I don't do anything. Building toys, she does it. I watch. I look on my phone. I don't do anything. Again, Ashley by the yard. Come on out here. Say hi to her. Say hi to everybody else that's out here inside the Expo Center. Come out here. Register to win the $2,000 in-store credit towards 4 Adirondack chairs and 2 side tables. All you got to do is scan the QR code out here at the Wisconsin State Fair. We're right by the entrance to the expo, right across from the milk house. Have you had the different flavors of milk?
Not yet. I'm interested in the red velvet.
No.
No?
What do you mean no?
I mean,
Just
you
say
can
no.
do the red velvet, but I'm just telling you, the best one over there is root beer
Okay.
every year.
Okay.
That's a standard one every year. That dude over there, Sam, our promotions guy, didn't want to hear it from me and the guy that does the show before me. So the guy before me goes, I'll buy it for you. I'll be right back. So he went and bought it for him, came back. He's like, yeah, that's really good. You're right. That
Nice.
was really good. Red velvet's good. I guess it tastes more, it's thicker, I guess. It maybe tastes a little bit more chocolatey,
Okay.
I guess would
Yeah.
be my description. But the brownie's
Brownie.
way underrated.
Okay.
Brownie's where it's at, yeah. Anything else you want to mention on the way out here? Did we cover everything?
Yeah, I want everyone to come visit us in our Oconomowoc showroom as well. If you can't stop out to the fair, or if you need a few extra days to think about your furniture.
What about
Come see us.
financing? Is there financing available?
We do financing through Wells Fargo.
Okay, so there's financing available too. You
Yeah.
don't got to write a check and be like, all right, here's our money. Take care of it over 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. By the yard, check them out today. Ashley, thanks for coming out.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right, take a quick time out. We'll come back on the other side. We'll talk more about the green and gold straight ahead. Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you. Welcome back. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you, Charlie Usen back in the studio. Hey, are you looking for a college where you can excel in the classroom and on the field? At Bryant and Stratton College's Wauwatosa campus, you can compete in the NJCAA Division II athletics with more than 20 men's and women's teams to choose from. Keep playing the sport you love while earning your associate degree in business, healthcare, criminal justice, or digital marketing. Athletic scholarships are available for those who qualify. Visit BryantStratton.edu. Again, that's BryantStratton.edu and discover how Bryant and Stratton College is built different for you. All right, normally we do this at 4 o'clock, but we had Ashley on from By the Yard, which was very nice to have her come out and talk to us about By the Yard. So normally we do this at 4. It's 4:16. A little bit late, but let's go.
It's time for your green and gold update on Wisconsin Sports Daily, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
All right, Charlie Usen, I want to play that clip again that you played there at the end, Charlie's sounds of the day, because I want to reset this for people that are just getting in their cars and heading home, or maybe you're heading down here to the State Fair. And if you are, come say hi to your boy. I'm out here outside the Expo Center, right across from the Milk House. Be here to 5 o'clock today. Tomorrow, Mitch Thunder-Nellis out here from noon to 2 with the Mason Crosby Show. I'll be back out here from 2 until 5. Saturday, College Sports Weekly, 9 to 11. And then on Sunday, I'll be out here for the leadoff show from 2 to 3, and then back out here with the franchise Tim Allen Sunday night from 6 until 8. And then the State Fair is over just like that. Poof, gone, over with, and done for another year. I was reading in a piece the other day, the lady that's in charge of the Wisconsin State Fair, of what she's trying to do. She's talking about like doing a $75 million agriculture building and all this other stuff. And this is like her dream job is to kind of do and be in charge of the State Fair. So she's got all kinds of money that she's trying to allocate and throw at upgrades all over State Fair Park. They've already done a tremendous amount of work with upgrades around State Fair Park the last couple of years. And as you walk around and you look at all the different local businesses and stuff like that, you realize, like, I've never been to other state fairs, but I would find it hard to believe there are many as good as this one around the country. I know the Illinois State Fair, from everything I've heard, sucks.
Yeah.
I've heard the Minneapolis,
that
Minnesota
one's supposed
State
to be
Fair.
really good.
I heard that one is supposed to be really good.
Texas is supposed to be pretty cool too, but
right, Texas is another one. Over the years, when you ride that gigantic Ferris wheel out here, you get in the Ferris wheel and you get in there sometimes with people from other states that this is what they do. They travel around and check out other state fairs from where they live, and they just love the State Fair experience no matter what state it is. And they tell you, like, this is one of the better state fairs in the country. So, again, just realize it, enjoy it, experience it, and have fun with it, man. It's a good time for sure. All right, now you can fire the open. I talked long enough.
So we played the open already.
We did?
Yeah, you talked
Where
so
was
long you
I?
forgot to play it.
Was I here?
Yes, we're here. I can play it again for you if you want. But
no,
you just wanted me. You wanted me to play that Jordan.
Making fun of me?
No, I'm not. We played the open. What do you mean? I can go back in the next break and show you we played the open.
Damn. Well, then. Did we play Jordan Love a second
No,
time? 'Cause I know I asked for that.
we haven't done that yet. That's what you wanted us to do. Here's Jordan Love with Kevin Clark on This Is Football, discussing the biggest difference he sees for the offense coming this season.
Man, the biggest difference, I think, is our ability to finish. I think, that's kind of where we had a letdown last season. Was being able to finish late in games, late in the season, all those things. So I think this year, that's the mindset. That's the goal for us, is to be able to go out there and finish no matter what the situation is. Just have that killer mindset.
Is there a key when you have losses like you did, and I know we're referring to, but like, is there a scheme thing for that? Is that a mindset thing? Is that, still being aggressive, later in games? Like, what, when you say we want to finish better, what does that tangibly mean?
It's everything. I think player-wise, it's all about focus. Especially when you have a lead in the game, not losing focus and continue to focus on all the little details, so everyone can go out there and execute every play. I think it's scheme-wise, looking at some of the stuff we did in the end of games last season and clean up some of that or find ways to be better. But like I said, it's just that mindset, having that killer mindset that we got to put teams away, and especially if you're up in the game or if you're down in the game, find ways to climb back in that game. It's never over until it's over.
Okay. So trying to talk about how to finish games at the end. And we were talking about this at the end of the 3 o'clock hour. Let's talk about it again. So first, Jordan Love talks about essentially losing focus at the end of football games from a player standpoint. I guess he didn't really specify player, coach. Could be talking about either one. But for the purpose of this, let's say that he's referring to players. That's conditioning. That's I'm dead dog tired and I can't keep my focus right now. Right? Is that what that is, Charlie? You play college football. Is that what that is? I don't know how many tight games you were in. Your team wasn't that good. I mean, is that what it is?
It's definitely a huge part of it. I think getting into those moments, and especially for this Packers team, where I think sometimes you are just slow playing your offensive drives. You have a whole lot of plays. Your defense is coming off the field because in the first half of the season they were awesome, and in the second half of the year you're giving up 40 points to the Ravens, and it feels like you're getting killed. And you have to keep going back out there. Like your offense is going to be tired from that no matter what. I think conditioning wise, yes, you do want these guys to be a little bit more ready to go. But at the same time, when so many guys are injured throughout the course of the season, you don't have those backup plans. You don't have people that can come in and rotate at the same level that you did when you are completely healthy. So I think going into the season, to start the season, it's really nice that all you're missing is Micah Parsons, which kind of sucks that you're missing Micah Parsons, obviously, but everybody else on the field should be healthy going into that week one, which I think is going to be huge for this team, especially when you talk about getting guys to rotate in, especially at defensive back, at wide receiver, getting guys to rotate around and give you that opportunity to then get into the fourth quarter and still have some energy so that you can stay focused.
I think that's very true. I think the other part of it too, and maybe I'm being unfair, leaders on this team got to lead. When you're late in games, if you think they're losing focus and you're in that huddle, then get their focus back. Then refocus them. Do what you got to do to get their attention, Jordan. Like, this comes back to you. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, and I'm not going to put Micah Parsons in this because they were, 9-2 or 9-3 when he went out. So this ain't his fault. But whoever that leader is on defense, when he's not out there, then you got to be that guy when you guys are huddling on defense to, hey, everybody pay attention. Let's go here. We got to make a play. Focus up. Let's go. Whatever. I mean, I'm not saying maybe they were doing it and guys still couldn't focus. I have no idea what Jordan Love says in a huddle. But if they were doing it and it still didn't work, that's even a bigger problem. How much of it falls on leaders, do you think?
I think a certain part of it, but also it seems like the leaders on this defense, the Xavier McKinney's, the Keyshawn Nixon's, they're vocal. They're out there saying their piece all the time, even if Keyshawn Nixon maybe isn't performing to the highest level, or even Xavier McKinney having his down parts of the season. It seems like they're still willing to be in their guys' ear, telling them to keep going. And I think offensively, Jordan Love is doing exactly what I've asked him to start doing this season, which is calling these guys out. And if something doesn't look right, something doesn't feel right, not just going and fixing it on your own and then not telling anybody you're fixing it, but saying, hey, we need to make changes if things aren't going right because I'm a leader of this team, because I'm getting paid like a leader of this team. So I think part of it is on the leaders, but I think you're starting to see the leaders start to take more of that role on. And you have Jordan Love wanting to take that role, especially with Josh Jacobs and his situation right now. I'm sure he kind of wants to be a little bit more quiet within that locker room, mind his own business while everything gets sorted out with that. Zach Bako-Boele is hurt. He's a guy that's probably a leader, but maybe needs to step up more as a leader. Sean Ryan moving to the center position. This is a great opportunity for him to be more vocal. So I think these are all guys that I have seen in the past be able to be leaders, and I think they should continue to grow as leaders this season, especially in new opportunities.
I saw yesterday that he wants a nickname, and I believe the nickname that they decided to go with is Zebak. Is going to be what he's going to go by nickname-wise, so people don't got to try and absolutely, annihilate his name. He's going to go with
not that hard to say.
David Bakhtiari, I think, was a part of the nickname, and I forgot who the other one was. But, yeah, so two former Packers came up with the idea for the nickname, and then they went to him and said, hey, what do you think of this? He's like, yep, that works for me. Zebak it is. So that's how we'll refer to the artist formerly known as Zach Tom, going forward.
I like that nickname better.
The artist formerly known as Zach Tom.
Yeah.
We could use that on our
That's
show.
that's a good Tim Allen nickname for sure.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's talk about the other part of what Jordan Love had to say. That's the scheme part of it. And that's the part where I think a majority of Packer fans were frustrated and mad last year was with Matt LaFleur and in their opinion, potentially him taking his foot off the gas pedal too much, Charlie.
Well, and that's with the team mentality too. I think these are moments where Jordan Love has to start standing up and speaking out, like I keep saying, but have those moments where Matt LaFleur wants to slow it down a little bit. No, Matt, I think we need to go fast here. I think we need to start switching it up, coming out of the second half with a different kind of energy when we're up. If we're down, that we have to try to be aggressive early on, and that our defense, we know they're good enough to give us those breaks later on. Like, just help us out, help us be more aggressive here, Matt. And I think that's huge for this team. He's been too quiet in those moments in the past. Already hearing this on a podcast, even if it is just on a podcast in training camp, is enough for me to start buying into Jordan Love hype again this season.
And that's the thing that I think in those first 4 weeks where you don't have an incredibly tough schedule, right? The schedule doesn't really pick up till you get to the Bears, then you get the Cowboys. That's really gets to this tough part. So we've talked about it. Those first 4 weeks, you want to be 2-2, you want to be 3-1. I mean, 4-0 would be great, but realistically, I think if you're 3-1, you're happy. I personally don't want to be in a close game with any of those 4 opponents. I'd rather just win by 10 or 14 to not have to worry about this. But if there becomes a situation, maybe it's week 1 against Kyler Murray and the Vikings, and you're in a tight ball game late, and Jordan Love throws a game-winning touchdown pass with 20 seconds left or something, down 4, and he wins the game, that's how you start to change the narrative going forward, right? You're up 4, Love gets the ball, and they march down the field and score a touchdown to bury the other team with 1:30 to go, and you don't give the ball back. That's how you start to change the narrative moving forward with the Green Bay Packers. I would personally enjoy the fact that this narrative gets shut down in the first half of the season, so it's not a constant talking point for the rest of the season. What you don't want to have happen is you don't want to be up by 3 and then lose by 4 because the other team scores late and then you don't go anywhere with the ball when you get it back and you lose the game. That narrative is just going to continue to fester and get louder and louder and louder throughout the year. As we learned with some of these dumb power rankings with quarterbacks in the National Football League, Caleb Williams' star has shined with these national media members, and they're 2 cent brains, some of them, because, well, he had a couple of big plays late in games, so Caleb Williams is better than Jordan Love, which is asinine when you look at his completion percentage. Having said that, it's the same way with Jordan Love. These guys that are hypercritical of Jordan Love will flip. Well, I think we'll see. I think will flip if he gets 2-3 game-winning touchdowns and he's on SportsCenter running off, holding his arms up, Packers win. You give 2 or 3 of those in the first half of the year, that narrative will shut itself down, and then the talk will be, hey, Jordan Love took a step. He's a great quarterback. His completion percentage can be the same. His touchdowns can be the same. His interceptions can be the same. But if he wins 2 or 3 close games at the end and it makes SportsCenter, everybody's opinion is going to change. And really, at the end of the day, he hasn't changed at all. He just got put in a situation to win games.
Well, and the other thing with Caleb Williams is he did good enough outside of the completion percentage for people to at least try to justify that point that he's that good. He still had 3,900 yards. He still had over 20 touchdowns. He only had 7 interceptions last season. Like, he still had an all right season outside of his completion percentage, and that gives you enough of that storyline plus the highlight plays for a lot of these people to start going and running with that, plus the team's success, winning a game in the playoffs, like, especially against your rival. That's huge for a lot of people that are just watching the storylines. Again, Jordan Love has all those other parts. He has the stat lines to prove that. It's a good enough stat line, if not great stat line at points, that he should be able to go out there and have highlight plays that should be able to help this team. Again, it doesn't even have to be to win a game. It'd be nice if it was to win a game. I think that would definitely help his star shine brighter. But if he could just have crazy throws, if he could escape 3 sacks and go downfield 40 yards to somebody, that would be awesome in the middle of a game even. And that would be a really cool spot for Jordan Love to be. Now, you need to see at least 2 of those, 3 of those, I think, in the first 4 weeks.
Charlie Usen and there, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer here, Wisconsin Sports Daily, as we broadcast live from the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Last night on the postgame show, Tim Allen's like, and the running of the 175th Wisconsin State Fair. I was like, that's a horse race. We aren't running anything here. There aren't races going on.
Races.
Out on the infield, right?
Pig races.
I guess.
Those are happening all the time.
He doesn't listen to me, Charlie. Doesn't listen. Gets up on stage over there at the worst stage at the state fair. gets up there and says, "And we're happy to be out here at the running." And immediately, some dude at a table goes, "It ain't a horse race. It ain't no horses running, Tim." And he starts laughing. I was like, I tried to tell him this yesterday. He's still trying to use it the way he wanted to use it.
He's trying to make something work. He's trying to start something new. He's got ideas, Sparky. Let him try them out. Yeah.
Him and I both always have ideas. That's the problem with both of us. I want to finish up this Packer conversation one more time. I think Matt LaFleur, if he had his druthers, when you would say, Matt, yeah, you and Matt at a bar. Maybe you're out here at State Fair having a couple of cocktails, watching Tim's band at the worst stage at the fair, and you're watching and you're just talking loudly because Tim's band is very loud. Hey, man, like, how would you want to finish games? Like, in your world, how would you want to finish games? I don't know this for a fact, but I would guess his response would be to stuff it down somebody's throat running the football. That's how I'd want to finish a game. Take 5 minutes off the clock and just pound the hell out of the defense and win the game. I think that might be his answer. The question, though, then becomes, do you have an offensive line and a running back that can actually do that consistently throughout the course of a 17-game season and through the postseason? Like, if that's how you want to end a team, if you want to run clock, pound the ball, and move the ball because they can't stop you because they're dead dog tired at the end of the game, and that's how you're going to finish it, not on Jordan Love's arm, but running the football, that's how he wants to do it. Do you have the personnel to do that? And unfortunately, I think the answer is no.
No, you don't. And you can see that clearly with two teams within your division. The Detroit Lions 2 years ago were able to do that because they had a phenomenal offensive line and two really good running backs that were able to help them out. Last year, they lose that offensive line. One of their running backs is hurt half the season. And you see a big change within that run game for them. The Chicago Bears last season completely revamped their offensive line, add a rookie running back, add a rookie running back into the running back room that they thought could help right away. And then they go out and have one of the best run games in football. And it was huge for their success moving forward, especially as Caleb Williams tries to develop and their defense struggles in the second half of the year. You needed that run game to be like that in order to offset all the other issues you have. I don't think the Packers really need that. And I think when you have to question whether or not your offensive line is good enough, whether your running back still has the juice to be able to be that type of workhorse, then I think you need to start saying, all right, what other options do we have? Because we do have a really good defense. We have a group when Micah Parsons is out there that's one of the best in the league. We do have a really good wide receiver room. These are things that the Lions and Bears haven't had in the past, yet we're still trying to do something that kind of copies them in these moments. Stop trying to do that. There's got to be other ways to win football games or close out football games with the talent that you have on the field that clearly does not match the talent of these other teams that are running the same kind of scheme you want to.
And that piece in The Athletic by Jordan Rodriguez that we talked about yesterday, there was a section in that article where she brings up to Matt LaFleur, hey, you talked about tearing this offense down to the nuts and bolts, starting from scratch and rebuilding it. And Matt LaFleur said that he left that up to his assistant coaches. He told them, go back, watch everything, watch what worked, what didn't work, what we should do, and kind of delegated to them, not him. He let them kind of try and rebuild this thing. I'd love to know how much of game closing scenarios of what they were running last year has changed to maybe what they have right now scripted into those scenarios, because they got stuff for everything. Down 2 minutes to go. Okay, these are the set of plays we want to run. Down 4, minute 30 to go. Okay, we want to run these set of plays, right? So you have those packages and ideas. I wonder how much of those packages changed from last year to this year. Then I wonder how much those packages change of what they're running in weeks 1 through 4 to what they are then running in the postseason. Because if I was guessing, they should. Now, again, that inside zone run crap that they were running last year. But you would think that that package of plays would probably evolve and change throughout the course of the year based on what they're comfortable running, what they're running well. That can change from year to year, depending on personnel, depending on how defenses are playing you. That all can change. But you would think it evolves and changes throughout the course of the year for Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love.
It definitely does. And I think when you look at what potentially could have changed. If all of it changed, Matt LaFleur should not have gotten a contract extension. If you changed everything and let your assistant coaches tear it apart and they're like, this was all wrong, like everything's wrong, we need to change everything, I think Ed Balasie should have gone, yeah, new head coach probably should be in order that can actually run things. I don't think Matt LaFleur is that bad of a head coach. I think he's actually a really good head coach, and I think he's a really good play caller. So I think it's going to be a small amount of it that's changed throughout these years and maybe little adjustments. But I think it's really good that he went to his assistant coaches, the guys that are around these guys all the time, and said, reevaluate your position. Tell me what you think of the position. I've done the evaluations before in the past. It feels like something's a little bit off right now. Tell me what you think of these guys, and then maybe I can adjust a little bit based off the talent, based off of the personalities in a lot of these groups. And I think that's huge for Matt LaFleur to, again, swallow his pride a little bit. And what I think he's going to do moving forward here with Jordan Love is swallow his pride a little bit and let Jordan Love take more control of this offense. I think that was the biggest key for Matt LaFleur this offseason, and it looks like he's starting to do that.
We're going to talk more about Packers and Steelers coming up tonight and things that Sparky missed today. I want to simply know from you, if you guys want to hop aboard, text in. I want to know from you, looking at this game tonight, who or what do you want to see tonight? Maybe you want to see how the Packers look in the red zone. Maybe you want to see the player that we don't talk about at running back, see how he does. Did you hear 9 to Noon with Kuhn today? Did you hear him and Wayne Larrivee?
I did not, no.
So him and Wayne Larrivee do a segment Tuesdays and Thursdays on that show. I think it's at 10 o'clock, brought to you by Bobcat Plus. And they were going back and forth. John Kuhn asked the question. I should have had you pull it. So this is a blunder on my part. And John Kuhn and Wayne Larrivee both agree that pretty much they should run Marshawn Lloyd into the ground tonight. Like, just play him a ton.
That's
and
Thunder and Mason agreed on 10 to 15 carries on Mason Crosby show.
Yeah. And what did I say yesterday?
That you should not let him touch the field during the preseason, put him in bubble wrap, keep him off the field. Yeah.
If tonight that dude gets hurt because they're doing what all these other shows want them to do, they all better not come on the air.
He's the third string running back. What does it matter?
No, they better not, because it's Marshawn Lloyd. Look, I said his name.
You've said it twice now, actually.
If did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time. If he gets hurt, they all better come on the air and not say boo about him being out there and getting hurt. Better not hear a word. And I better not hear a word about, oh, he's injury prone. You know, you probably could have saw that coming. I better not hear anything from anybody. If that dude gets hurt tonight, if they're running him 15 to 20 times and he gets banged up and hurt and he's gone.
I'll make sure to go back and grab the John Kuhn and Wayne Larrivee clips so that tomorrow, if he does in fact get hurt tonight for Plead the Fifth, we'll have them on Plead the Fifth.
Oh, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind if that dude gets hurt. Again, explosive. Great. I mean, he could be great. He could be a Packers stud running back for the next 10 years in this offense. I'll tell you right now, like Amon Green forward, he could be the best one since Amon Green. But we don't know if he can ever stay healthy in his career. Not no doing of his own. I'm just saying, we don't know. But you want to test this tonight in a preseason game to see how long he can go. You must be joking. Like, that is crazy time to me. I need him in week 1 to see what happens. I don't care if he gets hit in a preseason game the first 3 weeks. Put him out there. If he gets hurt in week 1,
but how can you trust him in week 1 if he doesn't touch the field in preseasons week 1 through 3 when he's never played for you really in a max capacity before?
Trust him to do what?
Be a running back in an important part of this offense, because running back 2 is going to be an important part of the offense. It was last year, and this year it's going to be even more of a big challenge for that guy.
If he knows the playbook, I'm good. I don't need to see it out there. I'm good. But by all means, you all go run this cat 10 to 15, 20 times tonight, and hopefully he gets out of it alive. That's the other thing. They sent Christian Watson to Madison to get that hamstring issue fixed. It worked. This dude went to some other place to try and figure out why he can't stay healthy. They say they fixed him. Well, tonight will be a good test if they're going to run him that much. Because if they fixed him like Madison fixed Watson, hey, your whole opinion of this offense changes if he is healthy and can play all year. I know y'all don't believe me. Y'all think I'm full of crap that he's that good. But I'm telling you, this kid is legitimately that good. I'm mad because he can't stay on the field. That's why I don't like saying his name, because as soon as I get excited, he's going to get hurt, and then I'm going to be mad again. And I'm trying to calm myself down.
Oh, it might be your fault tonight because you said his name twice, Sparky.
See, yeah, it's fine. Y'all can blame me. I'm not taking the fault on this one. He gets
never
hurt
mind.
tonight.
It won't be John Kuhn and Wayne
The
Later.
fall is going on. The 2 shows before me. That's where the fall is going if he gets hurt tonight playing in this football game. All right, who or what do you want to see tonight in the Packers-Steelers game? Nikolai Law talking text line 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. We are live out here at the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, over there at Wendy's, late night, baby. And man, it's going to be a late night tonight. Brewers Dodgers, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock with the leadoff show. We'll have J.R. Radcliffe on from Nashville covering the sound, so that'll be fun. Eat great even late, because Wendy's is now open until midnight or later. You know, you want that irresistible, juicy Baconator loaded with 6 strips of oven-cooked bacon. Get yourself to Wendy's tonight before those midnight cravings become a full-blown hungry nightmare. Hours may vary by location. Welcome in. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the Wisconsin State Fair, inside of the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you, asking you, Packers Steelers tonight. Also have Brewers Dodgers. I'll have the leadoff show at 8 o'clock. J.R. Radcliffe in Nashville covering the Sounds for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. He'll join me at 8:20 tonight. We'll have Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show, Tim Allen and myself from whatever time the game's over until 1 a.m. Tonight. So looking forward to talking Brewers Dodgers tonight. Want to know from you about this Packers game. What or who are you wanting to see from the Green Bay Packers tonight as they take on the Steelers? The guess is Aaron Rodgers is not going to play. Charlie was reading earlier that Rodgers is out there, but not really stretching or doing anything else, and doesn't appear that he'll probably play. The man does not want to play in the preseason, regardless if Mike McCarthy is his coach, his wife is his coach. It doesn't matter who his coach is. He don't want to be out there, so he's probably not going to be out there. I got one other thing.
Okay. Wait, I want to ask you real quick. Do you think he would have played if it was in Green Bay?
Yes.
Okay.
He was complaining yesterday to the beat writers that he wanted that game to be in Green Bay instead of Pittsburgh. And I'm pretty sure that could have been fixed by the NFL. I don't think that's a
set
I could be
thing.
wrong, but I don't think that's negotiated between the teams of where the game is. Because if I'm Green Bay, I definitely want to hear. I want all the hype and all the pub with Rodgers coming home, show a big tribute video, do all that. So I don't think it was their call. I think it was.
Yeah, it must have just been like also a weird thing. Like if they wanted to switch it now, they probably can't because so many people bought tickets to the Steelers stadium, and then they would be so mad you'd have to give refunds to them. Yeah, that's a whole problem. All right, continue with what you were saying.
Sorry. I got a text here. I was talking about not playing the guy that we don't like to name his name on this show, the running back, as far as not playing him a lot. And meanwhile, John Kuhn and Wayne Larrabee agree, yeah, we got to play him a lot. Crosby and Thunder, we got to play him. All right, fine. So from the 414, it says, yeah, let's go to the guy that has never played a football game in his life, not the Hall of Fame broadcaster, and 2 Packers Hall of Famers. That's all right. I'll be here tomorrow for you to text and apologize. But I know 414, based on all your other text messages, I will not be expecting that if I am right. I highly doubt it. I don't think that's going to happen at the end of the day. But thank you for listening.
Sparky's also somebody that'll eat his words a little bit if Marshawn Lloyd ends up playing a lot and is awesome in the regular season because he got the warm-up in the preseason. Yeah.
I ate crow on Walker Buehler. I thought the Brewers were going to torch that dude, and they didn't do crap against
Exactly.
him. So listen, I'm wrong all the time. All the time.
We say a lot of things on these shows, man.
We talk a lot over the course of 3 hours. Ain't nobody going to be perfect. John Kuhn ain't perfect. Crosby's not perfect. Larrabee, Thunder, none of us are perfect. We're going to say stuff that's going to be right. We're going to say stuff that's going to be wrong. It's all part of what we do.
Gonna forget when intros play and stuff, yeah.
Forgetting that is definitely. Now, they may not do that on the other shows. That may only be me on this show. CB in Milwaukee, you're next on Wisconsin Sports Daily with me, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. What's up, CB?
What's going on, my man? I hope you're enjoying yourself at State Fair.
Are you coming or what?
I might come Saturday, probably.
Oh, I ain't here Saturday, CB.
It's because that's the one day he's not there.
No, and it's going to rain anyhow.
My bad,
Come
man.
on Sunday, CB. I'm out here doing leadoff 2 to 3. Tim's with me, Tim Allen, doing postgame 6 to 8. Come out here on Sunday and come hang out with us.
Well, that's my birthday, man. I might not.
Oh,
definitely got to go out then.
Yes. Come out. Hey, hold on a second, CB. Will we have a third headset on Sunday? Okay, we're going to have a third headset. You come out here on Sunday, CB. I'll give you a headset. You can come on the air and hang out with me and Tim.
Cool. Okay. I like
All right.
That. The person that I really want to see, and Sparky, you might can answer that after I'm done. I want to see what Lucas the Bus Van Ness, what type of new moves he got. What you think, what type of new moves he got tonight?
I have no faith in Lucas Van Ness, if I'm being completely honest with you. I know he played better in the first half last year and was starting to gain some momentum as we go. I don't even know how much Lucas Van Ness will play tonight. I haven't seen from them necessarily who's going to play a ton and who's not. Thanks for the call, CB. Hey, Charlie, look up and see if they've got inactives out there yet for the preseason game tonight for the Packers. I don't really want to get too far out in front on anybody playing or not playing because in preseason games, half the main guys don't play. 3/4 of the main guys don't play.
I am not seeing anything.
Any
right
inactives
now.
yet? Well,
No,
it'll
not
happen eventually. what you do see is if you look at these other preseason games tonight and you look around the league, there's a bunch of guys playing that are starters. And again, we talked about this yesterday, getting rid of these inter-squad scrimmages around the league, like the Lions, the Packers down to 1, they're realizing that, okay, then we're not going to have that, then we have to go back to playing our starters. Now, the one thing Wayne Larrabee said earlier today, and he's like, I'm not saying they have to do this, but he went back to old school, right? Because back in the day, you would play the starters for, a couple series. The second game, you play them for a quarter. The third game, you play them for whatever it was, a half. And then the fourth game, they play the first series all the way through the first series in the third quarter, and then it'd be done. Or no, I take that back. First game was the first quarter. Second game was halftime. Third game was through the first series of the third quarter, and then you rested them in the fourth game. That's how it used to be back in the day. And Wayne Larrabee was like, I'm not saying to do all that, but I do think you do have to play the starters some. And Matt LaFleur is fully on board with we need to play the starters some here in the postseason. So I do expect to see starters playing tonight. I do expect to see starters playing at least one other game between now and week 1 for the Green Bay Packers. For me, I want to see Matthew Golden do something. That's what I want to see. Do something. And I understand training camp, you've been doing something. Family night, you've been doing something. But now you're against the other team. So go have a night, right? You may only get one drive, first team. That may be all Matt LaFleur gives you, right? Go score and you're done. So on that first drive, can we highlight the kid? Right? Everybody that's got their doubts about whether it was a good pick or not, whether he's a buzz because he didn't do anything in year 1, can we highlight him? Get him 3 catches on that first drive. Can he go be that guy on that first drive? That's what I'd like to see.
I'd be cool with that. I think Matthew Golden would be awesome. Brandon Cisse on the other side. I want to see him just outplay all the veterans and just go and earn that spot right away as early as possible in these preseason games.
St. Juice and Cisse, both of those I want to see. And the no-name guy that we're talking about, I'll see his name, Marshawn Lloyd. If they're going to play him, just don't get hurt. I don't care about the rest of it. Just do not get hurt. We know you're uber talented. Just don't get hurt. Charlie Houston there, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer here. That'll wrap it up for Wisconsin Sports Daily. Live from the Wisconsin State Fair inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I'll see you later tonight, Wisconsin, at 8 o'clock with the leadoff show. Wisconsin Sports Wrap-Up. Up next. Have a good night, Wisconsin. Toodles!